Trib Live High School Sports Network is the official video and audio streaming partner of the WPIAL. We broadcast over 2,000 sporting events each year and cover 17 sports in over 170 schools. At HSSN, you'll find the latest in high school sports news, live and archive broadcasts, scores, standings, and much more. Trib Live High School Sports Network, your high school sports leader. All season, every season.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Your home for the County of Champions.
Has a throw to first, and that's your ball game. Union has won its first ever WPIAL championship.
But it is champions, the Static Lancers.
Strike three. The Union Scotties, golden once again.
One gold not enough. How about 2 district gold and 2 state gold for the Lady Lancers? The top local athletes and the top sports moments all featured here, live or archived at lcsportsnet.com.
9 seconds. Anderson into the corner, it's poised for 3. Shot! Take time,
To throw again, directing traffic, going for the quarterback in the end zone! Touchdown! Featuring over 100 broadcasts of county events in over a dozen sports. Your voice for Lawrence County sports.
The gold ball headed home to Newcastle.
This is the Lawrence County SportsNet. Coming to you live from beautiful Bessemer, Pennsylvania. High school football here in the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Week 3, Game 4 tonight, the Mohawk Warriors hosting the Riverside Panthers. Tonight's broadcast on lcsportsnet.com and the Trib Live High School Sports Network, brought to you in part by Maley Chiropractic, by Luxembourg Garbutt, Kelly and George, by the Red Zone, by Madur Bonner Law, by R. Cunningham Funeral Home, by Pontius Insurance, by the Crane Room Grill, by Penn Ohio Bottled Water, by Joseph's Marketplace, by Doran Concrete, by DNR Lawn Care, by Michael Kirkwood Jr. and Castle Realty, by Lawrence County Child and Youth Services, by the Tri-County Principals Association, and by the Lawrence County Community Action Partnership. I'm James Dodson, Lee Moan, and Tim. Gentlemen, last time we had this, we had a double overtime thriller up at Bob Ledge Stadium.
Don't swear already.
Oh, we're going to get that. We're getting that out of the way right now, gentlemen, as it is Friday Night Lights, and glad to be able to have Friday Night Lights here back in Bessemer. It was, losing a scrimmage, losing the first 2 games, but Tim, we're glad at least now we're here on the roof at Mohawk High School.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun night. The lights are on, the atmosphere is growing as we get in anticipation of this home opener here for Mohawk.
Yeah, it's you said, great atmosphere, 80 degrees, 75 degrees, sunny, and it's only getting down to about 68. Just a perfect night for high school football around Western Pennsylvania.
It's going to be Mohawk 0-1, Riverside 1-1 as we begin conference play here today between the Panthers and the Warriors. We're going to step aside for a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back with our Luxembourg Garbutt Kelly and George pregame show when we return. Mohawk versus Riverside coming up at the top of the hour here at lcsportsnet.com and News Radio 1200 WKST.
Has your child's early education slowed down or even paused due to the pandemic? This is crucial time you can't get back. LCAP can keep your little learner on track for success. We have options for working and non-working parents with in-person childcare and age-appropriate virtual learning to keep them busy and engaged. Parents, don't hit pause on early learning. Lawrence County Community Action Partnership can jumpstart their future. Learn more at lcap.org.
In need of a lawyer? Contact Madur Bonner Law, a boutique firm offering tailored legal services in over 120 years legal experience. County residents with strong family ties to the community, Jason Madur and Michael Bonner, established Madur Bonner Law to provide clients with legal expertise and personal attention. Guided by their professional staff, you can feel confident your rights will be protected. Call attorneys Jason Madur or Michael Bonner, or visit MadurBonnerLaw.com for more information.
For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $25 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapies necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game.
For more than 120 years, people have been relying upon Martindale Hubbell's AV preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you're involved in a workers' compensation situation, you should do the same. LGKG has been AV rated for over 40 years.
Just about 20 minutes till kickoff between the Panthers and the Warriors as we start Midwestern Athletic Conference play here in Class 2A. Conference is starting all across Lawrence County tonight, so the preseason, well, not officially preseason, but 3 non-conference games for most schools, 2 for Riverside, 1 for Mohawk, and a partridge in a pear tree. But we're finally able to get some high school football in conference play tonight. Mohawk at 0-1, Riverside at 1-1 record on the season here on our Luxembourg Garbett Kelly and George pregame show. Visit them online at lgkg.com for your free consultation. Let's talk about these Mohawk Warriors, gentlemen. Lost a lot of players from last year's team lead. That was a very, very strong team, a bunch of seniors, including their quarterback. But you got to have that next man up mentality. It all starts with the quarterback and running backs, you would think. But, you know, this Mohawk team is going to really focus on the run because of the returners on the offensive line more than anything.
Yeah, they do get a big offensive line, but I still like the quarterback in Jay Rona. He's a 4-sport athlete, and he can make people miss. He can do it with his arm, can do it with his legs. He's definitely a multi-sport, a threat at anywhere along the way. But you said you talk about the Colton Root, the big. He throws discus for track, but he's the big boy up front that they're going to try to want to run the ball. Mohawk likes to run the ball. They did not have a lot of success last week. I mean, fell behind later in the game, early in the game, and that took them right out of their style. But Laurel really produced well. Yeah,
49-7 was that game last week. Tim, talk about, though, they use a complement of running backs. Justin Boston, Sam List kind of shared the load behind Rona as well. They're going to focus on the run game. I think you're going to get more of an even game, especially if they can stay close with the scoreline early to be able to establish that run game.
There's no question about it. I mean, they got 2 quality backs in Boston and List. I mean, Justin Boston had 17 carries last week with 62 yards, averaging just over 3.5. Sam List carried the ball 12 times for 53 yards, for almost 4.5 yards per carry. So when you look at what they're able to do, they need to get successful first and second downs. That's what really hurt them last week, is they just weren't getting good yardage on first or second down and making it a manageable third down scenario for Jay Rona. Rona, I think, really could be a threat with his legs a little bit. He only had 1 carry last week. I think they need
basketball court too. I mean, just fun to watch, and he's like the Energizer Bunny out there. He really has a good motor on him.
Well, and Tim, talk about this too. You got 4 of the 5 starting linemen are letter winners that are back from a year ago, but then you also have 2 extra linemen in the tight end, and Luke Kuhn and Jimmy Guerreri both catching passes last week. Guerreri at 6'4", 215, who the coaching staff has been raving about for 3 years. Luke Kuhn, a big force on defense, but also gets involved offensively. He's 6'2", 220. Those 2 are not on the line. The offensive line as a whole averaging 6'1", 270. There's definitely a size advantage for the men in black and red tonight.
Yeah, and obviously that should give them the opportunity to maybe hold the edges a little bit more and maybe do some stunts inside when you have those 2 tight ends involved in your running game. And it should help both Boston and List, find some holes, maybe hit them a little quicker this week and see what they can do. You got to remember, last week was their first action in about 3 weeks, so it was really important for them just to get that game under their belts and, work out some of the kinks that they haven't had a chance to have on a weekly basis.
And come out of that game healthy, too.
Right, that's big too, and to talk about that a little bit too, Lee. I mean, you lose your scrimmage, you lose your first 2 games. You're literally 3 weeks behind the 8 ball just in terms of football preparation, getting ready for a game. The fact that you get out of that game healthy might just be the win in and of itself. Is that okay? We got some experience out there against competition, pretty good competition too, in that Laurel Spartans team. But you get out of there healthy, and you get to see a little bit more of what you have.
Yeah, it was a good. They did look sluggish at times, but we understood that was their first game. That was like the scrimmage that they should have had, So, but like you said, you get out healthy, you see what you have. Now you go to a new game plan, new opponent, and this one's going to mean business now.
We're going to step aside, but first I got to give a shout out. You mentioned the 4-sport athlete in Jay Rona. Give a shout out to Alex Chapman, one of the big guys on the offensive line. He's currently got the instrument out there. He's going to go join the marching band for pregame festivities. We will have the rest of the pregame festivities, including the national anthem and alma mater from the Mohawk Warrior Band, and we'll talk about the Riverside squad when we return on the other side of this 60-second station timeout. Back in a moment on lcsportsnet.com and on News Radio 1200 WKST. When it comes to protecting those you love, the businesses you've built, or the things you've earned, you need someone you can trust. Who better to protect your interests than a local insurance agent? Pontius Insurance is a team of local agents helping local residents in Lawrence County and surrounding areas, specializing in auto, home, business, and life insurance. Come see Dan Pontius, Jessica Weiland, Tracy Giddings, and the rest of the team at Pontius Insurance and receive the personalized service you deserve.
At our Cunningham Funeral Home and Crematory, we are a proud 6th-generation, family-owned and operated funeral home located centrally in the Newcastle and Neshannock communities. Our large facility and experienced staff allows us to accommodate any family with personalized services. To learn more about our services and pre-planning, visit our website at www.cunninghamfh.com or follow us on Facebook. Allow our family to help your family.
Back here in Bessemer, Pennsylvania, the Mohawk Area Marching Band about to make their way on the field for pregame as the Panthers of Riverside come to town to take on the Mohawk Warriors. Glad to be here on News Radio 1200 WKST with the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. Continuing our Luxembourg, Garbutt, Kelly, and George pregame show. Let their law firm of AV rated attorneys and super lawyers guide you through the legal process. LGKG, keeping promises for over 80 years. Let's flip the script real quick. Gentlemen, talk about Riverside coming off a 27-6 victory over Shenango last week. Only threw the ball 4 times in that game. Really established the run, especially running the zone read play. Quarterback and running back both going over 100 yards last week. A nice 1-2 punch, quite literally. Number 1, Sam Hughes, and number 2, Robbie Janis in the backfield. Very strong there, Tim.
Yeah, Janis, just look at what he was able to. He's averaging over 6.5 yards per carry. That's over 240 yards on the season. I mean, that's really impressive. And when you're running that speed option type scenario where the quarterback can keep it or run it, and you have what Sam Hughes brings to the offense, adding another 125 plus yards on the season and 6.5 yards per carry. Yeah, that's what we're talking about with Mohawk, getting on first down, getting big yardage on first down to really put a defense on its heels. That's what obviously Riverside has been able to do early in this season.
So you're saying this might be a quick game tonight?
Well, if both teams run the ball like we expect here, I think you're exactly right there.
Yeah, we might be out of here real early. Yeah. Second-year head coach Fran Ramson getting his style and putting his stamp on the program. Not a lot of success last year, but very excited about this year and finally got that good win against Shenango last week. Yeah, that win real big. Only 1 win last year in his first season at the head coach. But talk about a very interesting storyline. But first, I think we're going to pause for the playing of our national anthem.
Your national anthem from the Mohawk Warrior Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Jason Zay, drum majors Emma Gallagher and Xavier Rubanti out there for the Warrior Marching Band. Let's talk a little bit about Riverside with the coach, though. You mentioned second-year head coach, just got his second win. Fran Ramson, he was a 4-year assistant under Ron Shiro, so not a new man to the program, but definitely a new man in terms of the analytics, Lee, and I know you're in love with this because he found a new occupation during the pandemic.
Which is unreal. I mean, he had his own business. He had his physical training business and psychology with the weight training and all that. And then said wasn't really making the money with the COVID hit and destroying his business a little bit. So why not? Let's try some poker online. And he's a professional online poker player. Making a living at it. So congratulations to him. So with that said, comes, as you said, the analytics of it, and we're going to see some unusual coaching decisions possibly that are against the norm here tonight, like going for 4th and 5 from your own 30, little stuff like that you might see. Like, what's he do? Well, I'm sure he has a chart. It says
he knows exactly when to go each way. And,
right.
and Tim, it worked to their advantage last week. They were 3 for 3 on 4th downs last week with Riverside in the second half, extending drives, and all 3 of those led to scoring drives. So obviously something's working there, and the kids are buying into it, which I think is really fun.
Well, it is fun for the kids because they know on any time they have the ball in their possession that there's an opportunity for them to extend the drive. And let's face it, anytime an offense goes on 4th down, there's excitement for the offensive line. There's excitement for the backfield and for the wideouts. They want to succeed on that play, if it's a running play or if it's a throw, whatever the case may be. But yeah, analytics can play a big part of sports today, and I'm not surprised with the way the game of poker has gone in the last 15 years that you can really figure out maybe strategy-wise why there's an optimal play here to make.
Yeah, you can watch it 24 hours a day, so
yeah, you can.
On TV.
So what you're telling is that the analytics are getting so good with football teams starting to go for it on 4th down that we need to ban going for it on 4th down, like we banned the shift? Is that what we're saying?
I wouldn't quite go that far, but I would definitely say that what we need to do, or what needs to be done, is really more teams understanding when the opportunity is there. On a 4th and 3 from your own 40-yard line, you may say, well, what am I going to gain on a 20-yard punt or a 25-yard punt versus going for it if you have a defense that you believe in and that can make a play? Or, in a sense, if you're at their 40, I used to call it the no man's land. You get between the 45 and the 30-yard line offensively. What do you want to do? Do you want to punt the ball and give up 15 yards? You know, if you have a punt that goes into, it's not that big of a deal. So might as well go for it on 4th down and take your opportunities to extend a drive and try to get some points on the scoreboard.
And that's, I think, exactly the key right there is that, you know, if you trust in your defense as much as anything, it makes it easier to make those sort of decisions.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we won't see it inside your own 20, but just look at this. Against Southside Beaver, a really good 1A team, and Shenango, who's got a great number of playmakers. 1 touchdown allowed in each one of those games. As we take a look here at Bessemer, cars are lining up. Glad to see that. People are starting to pack their way in. Large line getting through, but love the crowd that we're going to see here for tonight's game, the only one in the county. But with that in mind, the defense is what's going to drive this Riverside team and this Riverside strategy really all year long. If they're going to consider going for on these 4th downs, that's a lot of trust in your defense to make those plays.
Yeah, when they only give up 13 points so far in 2 games, and like you said, that Southside Beaver team, one of the better teams in single A. You know, so it's a good start here for the Riverside Panthers for sure.
Tim, let's talk a little bit about the players actually on there. We mentioned Sam Hughes, a 3-year starter at quarterback. Robbie Janis, who's been really strong at the running back position, over 100 yards in both games. But a complement of receivers on the outside as well, who are good at catching the ball, but in the way that they've established their running game, they're doing the dirty work too, blocking down the field.
Yeah, and that's really, when you talk about a running game, that's what you have to do. You have to be able to get downfield and block the defensive backs, get the safeties off the ball, and get the linebackers involved in a sense of taking care of them. And that's really an important part of holding the edge for runners. If you're going to hit towards either east or west to turn the corner to go upfield. You need successful downfield blocking from your receivers, and that's exactly what they have received this year from Garcia and George.
We're going to take another 60-second timeout. This will be another station timeout. We'll come back. We'll have starting lineups and kickoff here from Bessemer as we begin Midwestern Athletic Conference play between Mohawk and Riverside. You're watching high school football here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP and News Radio 1200 WKST.
I think the key to any attorney-client relationship is trust. My father told me a long time ago, the definition of personal integrity, it's really simple. Do what you say you're going to do. At LGKG, we've been doing that for over 80 years.
Contractors, the Department of Healthy Homes needs you. From small to large residential projects, you can help families live safer and healthier with the quality work you do. It's rewarding in more ways than one. Call LCAP's Department of Healthy Homes today.
When the high school season heats up, make sure you have the best gear to support your school. Head to the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in the Shannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. From sporting goods to custom apparel to embroidery and more, the Red Zone has it all. Quality gear for all 8 schools in the County of Champions. Stop by and enter the Red Zone or visit them online at theredzonesports.com. Score big at the Red Zone.
Coming back here in Bessemer, Pennsylvania, Mohawk 0-1, Riverside 1-1, about to kick things off. Well, depending on whose clock you're looking at, gentlemen, about 8 minutes or about 3 minutes from now. As
we're not going to have 3 minutes because both teams still aren't even on the field yet. So
and Riverside, it looked like, may have arrived here late even, Lee, because they didn't get out onto the field for warm-ups until about 6:15 as well. So
if that, I think it was about 6:25. I think they got out out on the field. So might have had some bus problems or transportation, but that's okay because we still have a long line of cars that come in here. We saw this last time we were here at Mohawk too.
Yeah, that was
late. Must be a lot of tailgating amongst the neighborhoods out in the country at Mohawk, and then they pack up late and then come to the field.
Well, it is time to be able to get these conference games going, and glad to be able to have this here at Mohawk for our opening night. This is beautiful. We're up on the roof of the press box, and man, we've done this now 3 times in the last 2 years, gentlemen, and we've been blessed with great weather for all 3 of these games. So really excited to get this one underway. We're not the only game going on tonight, though it is a very mild schedule across the county. In fact, this is the only game in Lawrence County here this evening. The other county games, Newcastle traveling to West Allegheny, Wilmington traveling to Hickory tonight. That should be a pretty good game as well. Laurel is off. They have a bye. We'll get back to that in a moment. And then a few games tomorrow. Elwood City at Freedom is also tonight. That's not till a 7:30 kickoff. The other game in the MAC, New Brighton at Beaver Falls. But 2 games tomorrow. Neshannock at Western Beaver, a pair of undefeated teams there. And Union at Shenango, where we will have the call for that one as well at lcsportsnet.com. That's a 7 o'clock start for homecoming at Shenango. So interesting, only 1 game tonight in the county, a couple of Saturday games. That just means that there's going to be a lot of neutral fans who might be making their way here to Bessemer tonight, and definitely out to Glenton Pop Johnston Stadium, Frank Bonjavengo Field there tomorrow, Lee.
It should be a fun one. I want to get back to the Laurel because I was trying to find out. You had the answer to why they are off this week.
The answer to why they are off this week, when the WPIAL put out the schedules, they set up all the non-conference games for everybody, and there end up being 1 team every week throughout the entire WPIAL that just can't get a game because there's an odd number of teams in the WPIAL. Well, in the MAC conference, there are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but Laurel's not in the MAC anymore. They're down to the Big 7, which has 7 teams. So you have 1 team that is going to be off each week in conference. This is the beginning of conference play, but they cannot have a game. They weren't given one by a WPIAL team. They could have searched for another one. Didn't find any that were particularly interesting, so they said, why not rest up for a week before getting ready for the start of their conference play next week, Tim? So it kind of makes sense analytically.
Yeah, it does. But obviously, I think most coaches and most schools would rather have a game, especially a home game, if you can do it. It makes most sense. Or if you're going to travel, where it's not too far and it's something a team that you believe that it will give you great competition that night. So if you can't find those those combinations, then yeah, your next best bet is a bye. That's unfortunate, but just the way the numbers work out, not much you can do about it.
You mean you don't want to be like Union High School and grab a 4-hour opponent like Canton?
Well, Canton was looking for a game, and just lucky enough that I spotted it on Twitter, and I'm not going to say I'm the reason, but I think I was part of it. Part of just trying to.
You got them together.
That's
to be able to do the networking like that and be able to find hey, I just saw somebody said they were looking for a week 0 opponent from out in the middle of the state, and they're a 1A school. It's like,
I was thinking it was Canton High.
Right, that's what I did at first too. But hey, then we heard the Mohawk Union game was canceled. Apparently, I and 3 other people all saw that same tweet and got a hold of Union High School with their first-year head coach and AD Kim Need-Balden. They were able to go and make it happen. So
and they're the number 1 team in the state.
Now they are the number 1 team in the state.
How about that?
How about this? The Mohawk Marching Band was there for that game because they were invited to go and support the Canton Warriors, who are also red and black. So it was kind of a nice moment there, knowing that the marching band got a chance to still perform and show off what they've worked on throughout their off-season. We're going to see what Mohawk can do tonight as they make their way through the tunnel and through the banners as we get ready for tonight's contest. Again, Mohawk, their second game of the year. Riverside chose not to have a week 0 game. Talk about that real quick, Lee, about that decision of taking a second scrimmage against Rochester. So they don't have 3 games like most of the rest of the WPIAL. They only have 2, and Mohawk with only 1.
It was on his chart. So as part of the analytics, it's better to have a scrimmage instead of, I don't know. Something most teams do the week 1 game, but sometimes the scrimmage is the better option if you feel like maybe your team's not ready. For competition, why not have another scrimmage? And that's what they did.
And I know Ron Shiro was very adamant about that when he was the coach of why would I play an extra game? We need time to make sure that we're all ready and tuned up. And again, Coach Ramsden, part of the Shiro pedigree, so of course probably going along with that makes a lot of sense as the captains are going to make their way toward midfield. For Riverside, it'll be Sam Hughes, Robbie Janis, Joe Reed, and Brandon Gasper going out onto the field. And for the Mohawk Warriors, their 3 captains, Jimmy Guerreri, Luke Kuhn, and Colton Root, who just also happen to be the 3 leading tacklers from last week on that Mohawk defense. Tim, as you're looking for tonight's game real quick, what are some of the keys that you're looking for in a conference opener, and especially for this Mohawk team coming off of just one week and then 1 game of practice getting into this opener of conference play tonight?
I think most important for both teams is win the turnover battles. Make sure you don't turn it over on offense, or if you do, you're going to have your defense come up big to get a 3 and out. But whoever wins the turnover margin here tonight is going to have a obvious advantage, especially when 2 teams want to run the ball as much as these 2 schools have shown in their previous weeks.
They're meeting at midfield for the coin toss. Producers Aaron Vigiano, Dom Summers running the camera tonight. We have Tyler Aaron, Jay Moan, and down on the field, Mr. Robbie Nattel getting you some action shots, hopefully up close and personal.
And the Riverside won the toss, but they declined. So Mohawk will get the ball. Now, did they change the rule this year that they are now doing the flip live? Because they did the flip live, or it was because Riverside was late?
That probably just because Riverside was late, they decided to do it right there. And if so, I think that's a nice move by the officials because, again, Riverside didn't get out there until about 6:20 at the best. So let them get a full warm-up and do the full coin toss. I mean, as far as I know, and if anybody's out there of our officiating bravado that can enlighten us on that, we would love to know. But as you said, Riverside has deferred their option to the second half, so Mohawk will get the first opportunity.
If you want a 10-minute explanation, Henry will text in.
He's a little busy.
He's probably at a game somewhere, unless he was scheduled for Laurel.
Well, hopefully not. So Riverside will get ready to boot it away. It'll be Zach Hare to do the kicking duties. He's another guy who does a little bit of everything there, Lee.
Yeah, he's the big baseball guy for 52 innings, 33 innings, 52 strikeouts, and 0.42 ERA over as a freshman last year.
One of 3 very talented freshman pitchers who were throwing on that Riverside team.
Made it to Coach Aliasho has been there, 52 years?
Something ridiculous.
Yeah, like 52 years.
Deep to receive is going to be Dante Retort. And the freshman, Bobby Fadden, it's going to bounce to Fadden, taken at the 10-yard line, going left to right as you listen on News Radio 1200. Makes a man miss across the 30, out to the 35 before he's tripped up, out to the 36-yard line. So the freshman getting it done early on. Mohawk takes over 1st and 10.
That's great field position there for Mohawk. And let's see if this Mohawk can establish his line of scrimmage early and try to get some confidence built in.
Your starting lineups tonight brought to you by Michael Kirkwood Jr. and Castle Realty. Check out his current listings or list your home at castle-realty.com. Jay Rono, the quarterback. You'll see Justin Boston and Sam List in the backfield. Tight ends Luke Kuhn, Jimmy Guerreri. Wideouts Dante Retort and Blake Logan. And the O-line left to right, Colton Root, Alex Chapman, Jack Mays, Robert Marshall, and Brian Birchfield. And movement on the right side of that line. Looked like it may have been Marshall who moved first there, Lee.
It was definitely Marshall who moved first. And, well, our new iPad stat keeper lasted 8 seconds.
When it freezes up on you and you can't make it, you can't mark down, I was like, that's enough.
Well, you were at Mohawk, so internet's a little dicey up here.
That's why we have the double duty over here. Ball at the 31-yard line.
You made it 8 seconds, though. That's good.
That's important.
Pistol formation.
Tomorrow night we shoot for 10.
High snap. We're able to get it to Rona, who hands it off, but getting blasted in the backfield was Boston. Timing just all thrown off on that one.
Yeah, Joseph Reed came in and just annihilated the running back there. Joseph Reed, part of the second in the WPIAL, the javelin throw, and 7th in the state, and he came knifing in there.
Is Joe Reed the 4-sport athlete that Riverside has?
No, he's not part of the 4-sport.
He was not the 4-sporter.
No, he's a 2-sporter.
But the big javelin guy. Fun that we've had a couple of 4-sport athletes we'll be talking about here tonight. 2nd down and 16, a loss of 1 on that play for Mohawk. They'll hand it off again. Boston's going to try to get to the outside. A couple pulling linemen in front of him, but it's going nowhere as it's Sam Hughes deep in the backfield. A loss of 4. Mohawk going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, Denver Hoyman is the 4-sport athlete, which we might see later on or see sometime tonight. But good start here for Riverside. Boy, they attacking early.
Riverside 1-8 a year ago. Mohawk was 6-6. By the way, the 38th meeting between these two teams, but it's going to be 3rd and 18 for Mohawk. See if they'll go to the air for the first time on their first possession of tonight's ball game. Boston to the right of Rona, who drops back, steps up, going to loft one down the far sideline, has a man behind the defense. It's going to be caught at the 40-yard line and knocked out of bounds on the 30 of Riverside. Dante Retort over the top makes his first catch of the season.
That Retort was able to get right down the sidelines and just get ahead of him, get behind the defense. It was a perfect pass by Rona. Hit him in stride around the 40 and took it all the way down inside the 30.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wise and Zach Hare was in his face as he threw that ball, and he just threw and got crushed. Like, what a great throw, right on target.
45 yards on the completion. A huge 3rd down conversion. We mentioned he's got a nice deep ball, Lee.
Perfect. Hit him right in stride along the sideline. We saw that in warm-up.
Retort and Trenton Miller, the 2 receivers to the right. 2 men in the backfield. Now they'll shift. Another high snap, able to get the handoff to Boston. He's going to bounce towards the outside, lowers his shoulder, and able to hang on and make the tackle was Aiden Garcia after a short gain on the play. Short gain, maybe a gain of just 1 or 2, but we've seen a couple of plays there, Tim, that they're just trying to bounce these runs to the outside.
Yeah, that seems to be part of their offense, is get to the edge with both List and with Boston. And we'll see how they are able to handle that.
2 receivers again to the right, 2nd down and 9, ball at the 26-yard line of Riverside. And man in motion, and ball actually hit the man in motion on the shotgun snap, but I think there was extra motion on the line that will push Mohawk back. That could have been disastrous, Lee.
I don't think that was supposed to be a man in motion. I think that was a designed snap.
I was thinking the same thing. It was a designed short snap.
Yeah, and somebody jumped for Mohawk is my guess, but that's what I thought. That's what Tim thinks.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
Because Guerreri did not leave early. I mean, the ball hit him right in the hands.
Looked like it was just a little trick they were trying to get early in the ball game to try to catch the defense off out of position.
But now again, Mohawk behind the sticks, 2nd down, 14, ball at the 33-yard line. Rona in the pistol set, play action, rolling out to his right, looking down the field, has a man open, but overshoots him at the 20-yard line. Was looking for Retort again. You think maybe he should have gone in the flat to Guerreri on that lead?
Yeah, I thought maybe Guerreri. He looked like he would have got at least 5 or 6 out of that play anyways. But Keep in mind, though, Mohawk does have a very, very good field goal kicker in Wilkins. In field goal range, yes, it would be a 50-yarder, but we've seen him hit. He's kicking 55 in practice.
Tim, he had retort open there on the far sideline, just airmailed it.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he had two options there, to go deep or to take the short route to Guerreri. He just chose to go long.
Well, let's see what the play call is on 3rd and long. They'll go conservative. Quarterback draw, scrambling up the middle. Big room for Rona. He's going to have the first down inside the 20. Slides down just shy of the 15-yard line, and they got dragged down late, and that's going to bring out the handkerchief. It's going to be 1st and goal inside the 10. There it is. You mentioned it, getting the legs of Rona going, Tim.
Yeah, I thought that was really important. Last week they really tried a couple times and were unable to do it. This week they called it perfectly on a 3rd down and long on the 14, and sure enough, Rona played it perfectly, got back into the pocket, then tuck it, and had open field up the middle, and just took total advantage of it and get the penalty flag at the end to add on a couple extra yards.
Yeah, what was impressive too, 6'3", 190 is Jeffrey Wise, but he was in the backfield chasing Rona. Then he was the one with the personal foul at the end of that play. A good hustle by him, but he knew it was a bad mistake at the end of that play.
Yeah, he tried to avoid but ended up kind of getting caught in the shoulder pads. So kind of tough luck, but he knew it. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line now. Man in motion is Kuhn going from left to right. They'll hand off to Boston, go in that direction, trying to get to the corner. Now cuts it upfield inside the 5, spin move, dragging a tackler inside the 2 before he's dragged down, and a flag thrown right into the pile at the end of the play. It looks like it's marked at the 1, so a 7-yard carry for now.
Yeah, Mohawk is in the red zone. You can make sure you stop by the red zone on Wilmington Road in the Shannon for all your county sporting apparel needs, sporting goods, custom embroidery, and more, as a penalty goes against Riverside.
So face mask on Riverside will go from the spot. 6-yard carry for Boston will go down to the 1-yard line now on the face mask.
Well, if you're going to commit a 15-yard penalty, at least be at the 2, I guess.
And it'll, right, and it'll remain 1st down because of that penalty as well. So 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Mohawk on the first possession of the game. This is the 8th play of the opening drive.
Yeah, so 2 personal fouls totaling 9 yards for Riverside.
Under center now is the quarterback, Rona. Man in motion, going to go out, and first man through is going to get the handoff with a little push from his friend. He's in there. Boston for the 1-yard score.
List. That was List, I believe.
We will double check. I thought
26 had the ball.
And I thought 26 gave the push. We will confirm as they come off the field, but nonetheless, it is an 8-play scoring drive for the Mohawk Warriors. On the board first, Bobby Fadden will be the holder as Wilkins on to attempt the extra point. 3 minutes, 28 seconds on that scoring drive. 8 plays on the drive. Bobble on the snap. Fadden now running for his life. Comes back over to the right. Has a man open in the end zone and finds him. Retort.
What a nice play. What a making something out of nothing as Fadden rolled to his right and looking downfield. He had 2 guys open in the end zone and went to his sure-handed to Retort, and Retort makes the catch in the end zone, and they add the extra point. So a bad snap turns into a bonus here for Mohawk as they now are up 8-0.
Headsy freshman making that play. It's 8-0 on a touchdown from Justin Boston, and the conversion pass from Fadden Retort. We'll step aside, back in a moment here at LCSportsNet.com and News Radio 1200 KST.
Looking to buy, sell, or rent in Lawrence County? Get Realtor Michael Kurtwood Jr. in your starting lineup today. Michael Kurtwood Jr. of Castle Realty caters to buyers, sellers, and renters of Lawrence County and the surrounding areas. Call Michael Kurtwood Jr. at 724-301-1482 today. Check out his current listings or list your home at castle-realty.com. People you know, people you trust.
8-0 Mohawk with 8:32 remaining in the opening quarter. We'll get you your Joseph's Marketplace drive summary after the kickoff as Wilkins approaches it and boots it deep. And it's going to go all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Your Joseph's Marketplace drive summary. Check out their new cafe, bakery section, and make sure you follow them on Facebook to see what's cooking today. Tim, 8 plays, 64 yards, 3:28 off the clock. Impressive drive for Mohawk. 2 long conversions on third down.
Yeah, that's the key. They had 2 bad penalties. They had 2 5-yard penalties, back them up deep. They had to go start that drive originally from the 35. The first play was from the 30 after the penalty. They had the same thing once they got on Riverside territory, but they were able to convert those big plays, either the pass play or the run, and a huge opportunity on opening drive there for Mohawk.
Interesting formation here. 4 receivers to the right. They're going to go screen pass to the near side through the hands of Robbie Janis and almost intercepted as Trenton Miller was almost the beneficiary on that play.
By the way, Joseph's Marketplace are barbecuing this weekend again.
So it's the last one potentially.
Yes.
And I also saw some canned hot peppers are now available.
Yeah,
I meant to stop after school today. I'll have to go and
I wanted to
tomorrow
stop
morning.
today, and I just didn't get a chance. But we will make an appearance.
We'll get the Mohawk defensive starters and the Riverside offense starters here in a moment. Pistol set on 2nd and 10. Handoff to the right to Janis. Bounces off a tackler in the backfield, fighting forward out to the 23, maybe the 24-yard line. Gain of 4. It'll make it a manageable 3rd down and 6. Hughes, the quarterback. Robbie Janis, the running back. Wide receivers, you'll see Aiden Garcia, Noah George, Zach Hare, and Brady Newman. And across the line, Jeffrey Wise, Brandon Gasper, Joe Reed, Joshua Gunther, and Frankie Kriegish.
Thanks to Michael Kirkwood Jr. for sponsoring those starting lineups.
Call them at 724-301-1482 for your commercial or residential properties. 3rd down and 6. High snap. Able to corral it is Hughes looking down the field. Will throw one. It's going to be too high and out of reach of the intended target. Tough, tight coverage there in the secondary too, Lee.
Yeah, it threw in the double coverage. It was a rough throw there. Probably should have maybe tried to go somewhere else with that, but nonetheless, 4th down, and we'll see what the analytics say. Are they going to go for it, or will they punt?
I think we can pretty much expect a punt here early in the first quarter on 4th down and 6. Maybe I'm wrong, but I can't imagine analytics telling you to go there.
Well, we had a high school coach that used to do it. Now,
yeah, I know, that's a little different. Yeah.
Snap back, ball is booted away by Sam Hughes. It's going to bounce just across midfield, bounce straight up in the air. Now takes a Riverside bounce, almost runs into a Mohawk player, but is downed at the 40-yard line by Aiden Garcia.
Yeah, Trenton Miller was just hanging out there. He's like, whoops, get out of the way quick.
Well, while we have a moment, give a shout out to our friends at Penn, Ohio. Bottled water. Stay refreshed by enjoying hot or cold water at the click of a button, or enjoy a cup of coffee with their bottom loader cooler options.
Hopefully we're not going to need their water too much here tonight. It's a nice night. Shouldn't have many cramps.
Well, but you know it's going to cool down, Lee, and that's always the fear.
Let's see if Mohawk off to a good start here with that 8-0 lead early on.
Let's see if they can work ahead of the sticks and not have their 3rd and 18 and 3rd and 13 like they had to fight through on that first scoring possession. 7:39 remaining opening quarter, 8-0 Mohawk leads. Play action. Rona now scrambling out to his right. Steps, fires down the field, has a man open. Caught by Retort. Across midfield to the 40. Breaks a tackle at the 30 and down to the 26-yard line. Great pitch, great catch, Tim. Extension that time.
Yeah, Retort making a great move out, cutting back inside, and Rona's seen him perfectly. Hit him in stride. He just had to go up a little high for him, but he was able to turn it upfield, get some more extra yards, and the big play off the arm of Rona is playing dividends here for the Warriors.
How about the offensive line, though?
Yes.
Great
foundation of any big play. Give a Doran Construction Foundation block, and some miscommunication here. Ball snapped, and just throwing it away really is Rona. That looked like one of the plays where nobody on the offensive line moves except for the center snapping the ball, and Rona just had to throw it away, Tim.
Yeah, and everybody was a little off on that one, except the center's never wrong when he snaps the ball, right?
Well, right, I guess. And at least Rona was ready for it there, Tim.
Exactly,
that could have been really bad.
Key. And, you know, he rolled out on a busted play. He had a guy open. He just threw it behind him and threw it out of bounds, playing it safe. Nothing wrong with that, especially when you're just outside the red zone.
Ball at the 26-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Mohawk already with an 8-0 advantage. Handoff up the middle. Boston breaks away from a couple of tackles. Not much room. Gets inside the 25, down to the 23. So a pickup of 3.
Yeah, Brandon Gasper, the big 5'11", 285-pounder, had him by the ankles, wouldn't let him go.
Be interested to see if they try to get their tight ends involved on this play here. We've seen Guerreri go open in like a screen type play when they roll Rona. It'll be interesting to see on a 3rd down and long they may try something like that.
Guerreri not on the field. It's Luke Kuhn right now. The tight end split to the left in the 3-receiver set. In the pistol is Rona with Boston behind. Now he'll step to the left. Rona drops back, throws it over to an open Boston in the flat, and he's going to get the first down inside the 20, inside the 10, down the sideline, lowers his shoulder, and gets inside the pylon. Second touchdown of the night for Justin Boston. 1 on the ground, 1 through the air. This one 23 yards. Mohawk extends their lead, Lee.
Boy, great design of that play. Rona was looking right, then boy, that set up Boston to the left right there, and he was all alone out there. Then lower the shoulder at the goal line and just bust his way through. Mohawk off to a great start, 14-0.
Yeah, Boston ran a great route, coming from the right side, going right down the line of scrimmage to pick that ball on that screen and just following his blockers down the long sideline.
We'll see if we'll get a Cunningham Funeral Home extra point. High snap, it is down, and the ball is booted through the uprights and good. Mohawk 15-0 as we approach the midway point of the first quarter. Our Cunningham Funeral Home specializing in funeral and cremation services. We'll be back in a moment. 6:20 remaining, 15-0 Mohawk leading Riverside here at lcsportsnet.com. DNR Lawn Care can take care of all of your landscaping and grass cutting needs. They are fully insured, accept just about any payment method, and have nearly 20 years of experience in the lawn maintenance business. Call DNR Lawn Care today to schedule an estimate or send them a message on Facebook. DNR Lawn Care. Have your lawn done right. Here's your Joseph's Marketplace drive summary. Just 4 plays, 60 yards, a minute 19 off the clock, and a 23-yard completion on 3rd down again, Tim. 3 for 3 on 3rd downs.
That's going to be huge. Right now, you can see they're living off the arm of Rona, really setting up the run game in the process. So it's working to perfection here in the first quarter for Mohawk.
Wilkins will drive the right leg into it again, and it's going to make it into the end zone, so we'll have another touchback. How do you feel about that rule, Lee, that you can't return it from out of the end zone?
Don't like it. I do not like it. You know, once that ball hits the end zone, it's automatic touchback.
And I'm just the opposite.
I'm not a big fan.
I love it.
I mean, it
so you like the NFL then, huh?
Well, no, I actually
every kick's in.
At the high school level, it's just difficult for a kick to get into the end zone. So, and it's actually reward them exactly and make a team go 20 yards. And it's also, like I say, you have a long place kicker like Mohawk does. It's like a punt on a field goal. They got to get the ball at the 20.
Yeah, it's
if it's a miss.
Completely different game. Completely different game mindset when you're starting at the 20 every time. And handoff up the middle for Janis. Bounces off one tackler but won't get away from Chapman on the second hit. Actually, it was number 62 making the tackle there for the Mohawk Warriors.
Scooter McPherson in on the tackle.
But he did bounce off for a 3-yard gain. Interesting that 2 of the first 3 plays Riverside ran were pass plays. Only attempted 4 passes their entire game against Shenango. But now, Tim, they're down 2 scores. They have to. You would think.
I would think, but in the same vein, you want to get into what you do best. Right now, you just want to get some first downs.
And on this, a stretch play, cutting it inside on a nice carry is Robbie Janis. He'll get across the 25 out to the 27 for a gain of 4. Riverside will have 3rd down and 3 coming up with 5:30 remaining here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, Janis was calling for a late hit. He was laid on the ground, and one of the Mohawk players came flying down there, but did not get the call. Interesting to see wide receivers get their own call, as you see the forearm looking to the line, and then Hughes will look to and then call the play to his lineman and his running back.
That is a little interesting way that they run, kind of a half no huddle essentially. 3rd down and 3 in the pistol set. They're going to roll out to the right. Hughes looking to throw. Throws a little jump pass, and it's going to be incomplete. Jumping the route was Retort, and that's a good thing that the throw is off the mark there, Lee, because Retort probably would have intercepted it if it was on mark.
Yeah, he was looking for Noah George, but could not come up with it. How about Noah George? Heading to the Navy, and his ultimate goal, he wants to be a fighting Navy pilot. So thank you for your service early, Mr. George.
A little Top Gun action maybe, though he'd have to be way up in the sky to have caught that one. Thank you for your service. My brother, 21 years as a naval aviator, so
wow.
We've got to love our men in uniform. Low line drive punt takes a bounce. No one there for Riverside, so it's going to be picked up at the 30-yard line. by Mohawk. Bobby Fadden breaks away from one. Now he's going to try to go back up the middle. Makes another man miss. Across the 35. Look at this. Across 40. He's got men in front. One man to beat, but it's going to come back. A block in the back. Fadden gets dragged down at the 31-yard line, but almost an unneeded block near midfield is actually going to negate what was a 40-yard punt return.
Yeah, I would like to see the odds of how many times once a running back reverses that you get a block in the back. Probably half the time you would think, but a good job there though by Bobby Fadden to reverse his field, create some space, almost got that touchdown, but unfortunately coming back.
You know Coach Ramsden for sure is going to have some analytics on that one down there, but he's now had to punt 2 times with Riverside going 3 and out. They'll move the ball all the way back to the 36-yard line. They called a personal foul penalty on that. Wonder if it was not just a block in the back, but maybe a blindside block being called.
Yeah, it had to be, because like you said, it's a 15-yard penalty. But nonetheless, Mohawk off to a great start. See if they can continue this.
2 touchdowns on their first 2 possessions, a 15-0 lead. Handoff for Boston up the middle, dragging tacklers, and he's going to go with the rugby scrum all the way out to the 40-yard line. So his first 3 carries went for -1, -4, and 1. Since then, 6, 3, 4, and a 1-yard touchdown run.
And Gasper again in the tackle.
4:15 remaining in the opening quarter. Mohawk away their second game, but flexing the muscles early with 2 first-quarter scores. Try to get you score updates of the other games across the county. Again, not too many tonight. Actually, only 3 being played here this evening. Handoff coming to the near side is Boston. Cuts upfield, and he's going to be close to the first down. Actually, this time it was Sam List, number 26, getting his first carry of the night. Needed 6, gained 5.
Yeah, our out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by the Crane Room. The spicy, let's see, the crane sauce. I'm trying to think of what it is again. Smoky, spicy, sweet.
Secret
sauce.
I think you got it all.
Sweet, I believe it was, not spicy. But
Sweet, smoky, savory.
Yeah. Needless to say, it's making everybody hungry.
It is. 3rd down and 1, another high snap. Rona able to get it and hand it to List, who's got the first down. Breaking to the outside across midfield, inside the 45, and then he's going to be finally gang tackled at about the 44-yard line. Another 3rd down conversion, a gain of 11.
What a nice 1-2 punch you have there with Boston and List. You can give one guy a rest and not really miss anything. But the flag was on the flag.
Yeah, so this one's actually going to come back. There was a hold down the field. The flag is at the 50, so this will go down as a 5-yard carry, but then a 10-yard holding penalty, so it will not be a first down yet. 3rd down and 6 back at the 40-yard line.
By the way, super secret, smoky, spicy, sweet sauce.
He would have the to-go menu with us.
Yes.
Make sure you call ahead with your to-go order as tonight's game winds down. Just a few minutes up the road in Neshannock Township. So back to the action. 3-receiver set. Rona in the gun, gets the snap. Looks to his left on a 3-step drop. On the out route through the hands of the intended target, Blake Logan. That was a timing route. It was timed almost too perfectly there, Lee, because when he turned, the ball was already going through his hands.
Yeah, Aiden Garcia might have got a piece of that ball also. Couldn't tell from this angle, but Garcia good coverage. So Riverside, an all-important stop.
That's the first time they have stopped the Warriors on a 3rd down, and it took a penalty to help them. Already 4 penalties against Mohawk here in the first half.
Janice back deep for Riverside.
Blake Logan to boot it away. Janice standing at about his own 20-yard line.
Looks like they're coming to get him.
Having to go and jump and get the ball and run forward with it was Logan. Rugby-style punt is going to bounce forward, and I think a Mohawk player may have touched it at the 25-yard line, though. The officials are going to let it go all the way down.
It did happen, but the official didn't see it.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wise almost blocked that ball.
One of the other officials coming up now, Mark.
Yeah, they did throw the beanbag where it was initially touched at the 24-yard line. Being if it was touched, though, Janice could have picked that one up, too, Tim. That could have been dangerous.
It was Yeah, you're right. It would have been. I mean, there's no way about it. But in the end, it gives Riverside. They're starting at the 20 again. This is the third time, actually, officially the 21 this time.
Yeah, that's their best starting field position. That's normally not very good, Lee.
Not at all. So let's see if they can get something started. Sam Hughes struggling here early on.
He's got 3 receivers to the left. Zone read, play action throw on the slant. It's going to be caught at the first down marker. Good pitch and catch to Zach Hare. His first catch of the year.
Best throw of the night right there by Hughes. I mean, that was all in rhythm. Good form, good spiral. Good zip on that ball. Also on the basketball team is Mr. Sam Hughes. Off the top of my head, I want to say he had a daughter. I mean, a sister-daughter. A sister that played, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong.
Definitely had a brother who was quarterback a couple years ago. He turns and hands off this time on first down. And that pass play allows for now a bigger hole for Robbie Janis, a 7-yard gain there on first down.
And now the hurry-up offense coming.
Now they're going to try to get some tempo. Under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Down 2 scores.
Don't let Mohawk reset here.
Pistol set, high snap again. Both centers with high snaps, but able to corral it again is Hughes. Gives it to Janis, and he's got the first down. Makes it all the way to midfield. Big gain of 7 again.
Yeah, I love the change of tempo right here. Catch Mohawk off guard.
Talk about the analytics. That's probably one of those type of scenarios that is on his chart. Down 15 with the ball. You're not moving it. Let's get change the style of the game and see what he can do.
Yeah, he's going to go all in.
Yeah.
Couldn't resist.
It had to come out somewhere tonight.
Do you think they're going to call Omaha?
Possibly.
Instead of Hold'em? Just over a minute to play in the first. Another pistol set. Handoff for Janis. Big hole on the left side, but coming in at the last second to trip him up for Mohawk was number 20. That's A.J. Verdi.
Yeah, Verdi part
of
the baseball team for Mohawk.
I was going to say, what Riverside's doing here is they're getting successful first downs. That's really been important in this drive. The previous 2 drives when they started at their own 20, on first down, they got nothing each time, and they were really behind the 8 ball.
Under a minute to play, 2nd down and 7. Man in motion out of the backfield. They're going to come quick screen near side. Bobbling it, ball's in the air, and who's got it? I think Riverside did end up with it. Though he was fighting with Guerreri on the play was Brady Newman. Good job juggling catch by the junior receiver.
Yeah, and also retort in what initially hit him also. So 3 Mohawk players right there, but as you said, good job hanging on to that ball. And that should do it for the first quarter.
Lost a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 8 from the 48, but under 10 seconds to play. That will be the final play of this opening quarter. We'll step aside, be back in a moment. 15-0 Mohawk leads at the end of 1 here at lcsportsnet.com and listening to the high school game of the week on News Radio 1200 WKST. Whether you're hosting a big party, it's family dinner night, or you just need a place to go and watch the big game, the Crane Room Grill is the place to be. Need that something special for your upcoming event? Ask about the CR Brewing Company's custom brewing options to give your big day that personalized touch that your guests will never forget. Visit craneroom.com to see their full menu, or call in your takeout order now at 724-656-1553. The Crane Room Grill and CR Brewing Company, a winning combination.
Don't get left out to dry. Call the Penn Ohio Bottled Water Company for the fastest and most efficient bottled water delivery service in the area. Penn Ohio offers bottled water ranging from 16.9-ounce bottles to 5-gallon jugs, perfect for your next event or office water cooler system. Also, don't forget to ask about their custom labeling options. Visit PennohioBottledWater.com for more information and to get a quote on their delivery services. Whether it's at home, in the office, or on the sidelines, Penn Ohio has you covered.
As we get ready to start quarter number 3, it'll be 3rd down and 8 for Riverside, trailing 15-0. Quarter number 2, let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
You really love that running game, don't you?
Yes, we do. High snap, quarterback draw the whole way and going nowhere. They tried to get it up here for us from the cheerleaders, and nothing going. And now we have extracurriculars after the play, and Riverside may have gotten a first down and gave it away just that quickly. Now we're going to probably have personal fouls on both teams after a no-yard carry. Would have made it 4th down. Now it will be 4th down after offsetting penalties, it looks like.
Yeah, let's see what they call.
So it looked like the ball may have come loose near the end of the play. There was some jarring around with the football.
Coach Ramson not happy.
A Riverside player at the end ended up giving a little shove to whatever the Mohawk player was who came in a little bit too hot late in the play. 15-yard penalty would have given Riverside a first down, but I have a feeling we're going to see these flags offsetting. Personal foul on Mohawk, and there's the personal foul against Riverside. They're both dead ball penalties, so it will be fourth down.
And you will see Riverside go for it in this situation.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Again, Coach Ramsden loves the analytics. Tim, you said it. This is the key moment in between the 40s. That no man's land. It's fourth down and 8, though. Not an easy one to pick up.
No, it's not. Well, with these backs, even with what we've seen the quick hitter to Hare, I wouldn't be surprised to see some type of a screenplay. Try to get to the backs and see if they can create on their own. Try to get somebody in space.
3 receivers to the right on fourth down and 8. Pistol set. Janis behind Hughes.
Blitz coming.
Scrambling up the middle. Hughes breaks away from one guy, makes a man miss, and he's going to get the first down inside the 40, lowers his shoulder at the 35, down to the 31-yard line, and then a flag at the end of that play. There's another one back. I wonder if they got the block in the back near the line of scrimmage. They got both of them, it looks like. So Riverside, again, I don't think either one of those blocks were necessary to the function of the play, Tim.
No, they weren't. It's unfortunate because each time they've had something, it's negated a big play for a first down. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how they unwind this. But if it's a 10-yard penalty from the flag, that'll move the ball back to the 45-yard line of Riverside, and that itself might change the whole atmosphere where you might have to punt the ball away.
And that's another one, Lee. They're not calling a block in the back. They're calling a blindside block again, so even worse.
That's 15 yards.
Yeah, it's going to be 15 yards. Yeah,
so they'll take it all the way back to the 40.
So it was a carry of 17 yards and a fourth down conversion, but now they will mark it back, yes, all the way to the Riverside 40. And I don't know what your analytics say, but fourth down and 20 does not sound too appealing.
I would have to say the right play here is the punt.
That's according to you.
That's according to the analytics, too.
Now they will send Sam Hughes back to boot it away. 2 receivers in retort and Fadden standing at their own 22-yard line.
Boy, only 12-yard steep.
Yeah, your quarterback being the punter, anything is possible. Low line drive kick is going to be bobbled and caught at the 25 with a lot of room in front. Fadden coming near sideline. He'll go out of bounds at the 50. Flag on the far sideline. Lee, you saw that one the whole way.
And why are you going to throw a block on the far side?
When the punt comes near side and the return comes near side.
Yeah, when you're 40 yards away.
I mean, that's a 25-yard return because of the low line drive punt, Tim, and it's all going to go for nothing.
It's unfortunate, but that is what happens on a football field. A play away from the action can deter a big play there. And Fadden brought it all the way out to midfield. Caught it at least a 20-yard return on the play. And unfortunately, they'll set them back inside their own 20 here, or at least inside their own 25 to start this
go
drive.
about the 25. Should be a 10-yard penalty. So, but still, you have a 15-0 lead.
I didn't see the official call, but they will mark off 10 yards.
I want to say illegal use of hands, but 10 yards.
10:57 remaining in quarter number 2. Mohawk with the ball and a 15-0 lead, but the worst starting field position for them here this evening.
Hey, we're going to get to see 2 bands here tonight, Riverside and Mohawk at halftime. Stay tuned for that.
Handoff on 1st and 10. Spinning out of a tackle in the backfield is List, but then he's met by a pair of Riverside defenders. 1 yard on the pickup for Sam List.
Get a little chippy down there.
Well, you've already got 5 accepted penalties against Mohawk, 3 against Riverside, a couple that have been offsetting as well.
Yes.
It's making us very upset up here.
Yeah, so one of the Riverside players get to his teammate and just sort of pull him off like, nope, get back here.
38th meeting between these schools, but it's all been really in the last 45 years. First meeting was in 1975, so you're talking about only about 10 years in that span that they haven't played against each other, Mohawk and Riverside.
You weren't even around.
Throw to the near sideline high and through the hands of Fadden, a little bit behind him, and close, tight coverage defensively put on by Denver Hoyman.
Yeah, you weren't even a thought. So good job here for Riverside. Pull up 3rd and long. See if they can get that stop and then get some pretty good field position.
Mohawk has had a tendency to come up with a big play.
They've already converted.
Throwing the ball, so
yeah, converted on 3 3rd and longs already. You're right. Pistol set, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Rona now brings List to his right. Dropping back. Rona lofting one down the field, and this one's going to airmail everybody well out of the reach of Fadden. I think a little bit of pressure in his face panicked him just enough because he had a man streaking open across the field. Just misfired.
It was just good defense there by Riverside, actually just closing off the gaps. They had a lot of defensive backs in the area and really did not give Rona really a place to put the ball, and he just kind of threw it into open spaces, hoping one of his receivers could get there, and unfortunately gravity took care of that.
See, they come after Blake Logan again.
You know,
he's a rugby-style punter.
Now the snap was very low and short, and it is again. He bobbles it, he mustn't. He's actually going to run towards the near sideline. He's got space in front of him. It's going to work as a fake, and it's going to work as a first down for Mohawk. So a couple of special teams blunders. First on the 2-point conversion on a muffed extra point snap. Now a bad snap on the punt, and running it is Blake Logan all the way out to the 48-yard line for the first down.
Vision matters. When you get the ball off of a bad snap and you can see the field and how it's developing, and good fortune that you have some speed behind you. You run out to the left-hand side, you get in front of the defense that is on the other side of the field, and you turn it into a huge play and a first down, and you keep the drive going.
Good job by Luke Kuhn at the end. He was ready to throw the block and said, nope, I better not.
Glad you saw that, because I was looking at the same thing, just waiting for the penalty call. 22-yard carry. We're going to have an inside trap, a flea flicker, pitch back to Rona. Rolls out to his right, has a man open down the field. Coming back and making the interception, though, defensively, is Noah George. He was beat by about 10 yards, but came all the way back to make the pick. He's still running at the 15-yard line. There's a block in the back, and this one's coming back as well. He's out to the 32 before he's dragged down. A nifty play call. They go for the home run, and just a little bit of issue on the handoff. Messed up the timing of the play, and Rona couldn't get the full throw out.
Yeah, Jeffrey Wise again causing havoc in the backfield, was in Rona's face, but boy, what a great play by George. And then they say a block in the back. I 100% disagree with that call. Coach Ramsden talking to the officials also. From up here, it sure didn't look like, of course, we're up here, they're down there. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but boy.
Yeah, that one, from our angle up here, looked like it may have been in the side, but the official who was directly in the side, he was standing at the 15. I'll tell you what, give some credit to the official. That's about a 25, 30-yard throw with a flag he just hit.
Remember, do you know what those flags are in the flags? Popcorn.
Yeah. Popcorn.
Yeah. Popcorn are in the flags,
Popcorn
so you get the throw, yeah.
Well, get your popcorn ready, because Riverside's going to be starting 1st and 10 at their own 8-yard line now after the interception. Trailing 15-0, 9:12 remaining. There's your Bonner Mador Law turnover.
Yeah, your community firm, personal connection, and individual service.
MadorBonnerLaw.com. Play action. Hughes. He has a man open down the middle of the field. Over the top and cut the 35-yard line. Off and running, and then dragged down near midfield. Aiden Garcia right down the seam, and from the shadow of their own goalpost to midfield, just like that.
Give Hughes a lot of credit, hanging in the pocket there, stepping up as he's released the ball, finding Garcia down the middle. What a nice play.
40 yards on the completion for Garcia's first catch. No huddle, quickly up to the line, pistol set. Janis plants the right foot, gets across midfield. He's got a big gain out to the 45 of Mohawk, down to the 44, gain of 8 on first down.
So moving it quickly is Riverside. I like it. Go to this no huddle. Mohawks had problems with it.
2nd and 2 as they will hustle right back up to the line of scrimmage. Deepest Riverside has gotten into Mohawk territory. Play action. Hughes pumps, lots of time, now lost it down the middle of the field, but no one there. And he had a couple of men barreling in on him, Alex Chapman being one of them.
Without the trumpet that time, Mr. Chivett, he came charging in for sure.
3rd down and 2 after that incompletion. So Hughes misfired on his first 3, completed his next 3. It's now 3 for 7 on the evening.
4 down territory for sure for Riverside here, trailing 15-0.
3rd down and 2. Not a surprise that they maybe took that chance down the field on 2nd and short. Pistol set. Janis gets the carry up the middle, lowers his shoulder, breaks away from a tackle, and gets the first down. Inside the 40, Rugby scrum still going, and now marked down at the 37-yard line. Needed 2, and he got 7.
You see him, both hands in the ball?
Yes.
There's no way he was going to lose it. Mohawk was trying to strip that ball loose. A couple players trying to get it. Janis said, no way, we're going to get a Ponch's Insurance timeout here taken by Mohawk. You can call Agent Dan Ponch's, Jessica Weiland, or Tracy Giddings to get started today.
There's your Ponch's Insurance timeout with 8:20 remaining, a 15-0 lead. Mohawk over Riverside. Again, coming up at the half, gentlemen, we will have our Trib Live High School Sports Network halftime show with Don Rebel and Chris Harlan, but don't go anywhere. You won't miss a thing. We'll have both the Riverside Panther Marching Band and the Mohawk Warrior Marching Band performances in their entirety here at lcsportsnet.com.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Mohawk. They got a very impressive band. We saw them last week.
Yes.
And they're very, very good. And guess what? We'll see them again on Wednesday.
We will. We have a very jam-packed week next week, gentlemen. A lot of fun. Starts on Monday, Lee.
I'm not here on Monday.
The golf.
Oh, that's right, golf. That's right, golf in the morning. I forgot about that. Thank you for letting me know.
Yeah, I'm glad I did.
Yeah, we're going to
You're
be.
welcome.
I was just thinking, wait a minute, I'm in North Allegheny Monday night. That's right. We got the sectionals at Green Meadow Golf Course on Monday. We had the band festival on Wednesday.
And then we'll have a doubleheader football on Friday as well.
Thank you for letting me know about that golf. What time is that, by the way?
First tee off is at 9 o'clock.
So we show up about 12 or so. Probably, huh?
As they're starting to come off, we'll see what we can make happen. But back to the action here, and a hard count out of the timeout is going to give a free 5 to Riverside.
And you can see that golf broadcast is a work in progress right now. I know that's what we did with Trib.
I was going to say, I talked to Don Rebel. You know the last time that happened? We did a golf broadcast?
I want to say about 4 years ago.
Close. 2017 was the last WPIAL Championship golf on the old MSA Sports Network.
Yeah, we did it. We did a couple. I know I did a couple of those. Talk to the golfers as they come in.
You're going to be the expert with us on that one then for sure.
Oh, see if they take a shot downfield.
You were part of that.
1st and 5, handoff up the middle. They don't take that shot downfield, but instead fight forward. Now it'll be a 2nd down and 1 or 2. Tim, maybe now this would be your opportunity, you think. 2nd down and call it officially 1 to go.
Yeah, when you have 1st and 5, you get that extra 5 yards. To me, it's just like it's a golden opportunity just to take a shot downfield and see if you can, create something big and get points off of it. But 2nd and 2, I mean, you're basically in the same situation. You have 3 downs, them really continue this drive. So they got a lot in front of them.
6th play of the drive, and it started back at their own 8. Now Mohawk at the 20, or Riverside at Mohawk's 28. Janis on the left side on the stretch. Somebody grabbing the jersey from behind, but he rips out of that, and he's got the first down near the 20-yard line. Pickup of 8 yards. Robbie Janis already 10 carries for 55 yards.
Yeah, Alex Chapman's the one that grabbed that back of that shirt. Thought maybe you might get the horse collar, but did not get it called.
Yeah, shirt is fine as long as you don't get under the shoulder pads.
Riverside in the red zone. They're voted the best of the best in Lawrence County for uniform supply and silk screening. And they're currently hiring.
Yeah, give them a call. Visit them on Wilmington Road. Handoff Janis on the right side. Inside the 15, inside the 10. Breaks away from a tackle. Diving for the end zone as a man hangs onto the ankles, and he's in there. Touchdown. Riverside on the board. 20 yards from Robbie Janis. Riverside cuts the lead in half pending the extra point, Tim. He just would not be stopped.
Janis just extra effort there. Once he got into the secondary, he had one goal in mind. Is like get across the goal line. He was able to do it. And with that, we're now going to go for 2, it looks like.
Riverside, they've only converted on 1 point after attempt on the season, so maybe not a huge surprise here.
The Cunningham Funeral Home 2-point conversion. Extra point.
High snap, Hughes rolling to his right, scrambling, and he's going to run out of room in a hurry. So the conversion will not work, but Mohawk gives up their first points tonight. Riverside on the board for the first time after the 7-play, 92-yard scoring drive. 15-6, Mohawk leads Riverside here at lcsportsnet.com. Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP. For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $25 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapies necessary. From the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game. 92-yard scoring drive, gentlemen. Your Joseph's Marketplace drive summary. 7 plays, 92 yards. Robbie Janis from 20 yards out. He now has all 6 Riverside touchdowns on the season. Make sure you visit Joseph's Marketplace, family owned and operated since 1915.
Barbecue.
Might get some barbecue to go tailgate down at the Neshannock Western Beaver game tomorrow morning.
There you go.
Short kick taken on a bounce. Coming to the near sideline is Trenton Miller, and he's going to get out of bounds at the 35, and another flag and another penalty. These are the things that you hope get taken care of in week 0, week 1, 2 weeks that Mohawk did not have.
We're getting some extracurricular stuff too. Stuff that shouldn't be happening. Another holding call too.
So holding on Mohawk will push it back inside their own 20. 7 minutes remaining in the first half. 15-6 though, Warriors on top. A pair of touchdowns for Justin Boston, 1 on the ground, 1 in the air. And Robbie Janis just capped off a long scoring drive for Riverside to make it 15-6.
Big defensive opportunity here for Riverside. With only 7 minutes left here in the first half, you just got on the scoreboard trailing 15-0. Now if you got Mohawk deep in their own territory starting this drive at their own 16, you're looking for a 3 and out and trying to get the ball back into your offense's hands.
Rona has misfired on the last 4 attempts too, Lee.
Yeah, you're thinking 15-0. Here goes Mohawk. This is going to be a blowout. Give credit to Riverside hanging in here.
Man in motion across the formation for the Warriors. Play action. Rona looking downfield, getting flushed out to his left and makes the smart play and just throws it away. That would have been intentional grounding last year, Lee, but
complete.
No longer.
Retort. He caught it.
Retort, though, is 5 yards on the sideline. Leighton Wagner, by the way, was in there, the man in motion going from left to right. Great story about Leighton Wagner there, Lee.
Yeah, Leighton Wagner won his first, he races sprint cars, the 410, won his first race back in August, 16 years old, ranked 195th in the country.
And I'll tell you what, I'm told he loves the open wheel cars. Yes.
And he's also on the basketball team also.
Talk about multi-sport athlete. There's one you don't see very often. Handoff, getting to the outside. Big room for Boston. Head fake. Now he gets to the corner. He's got the first down, dragged out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Gain of 14. Big gain for Mohawk there, Tim.
Yeah, Boston was able to get to that edge. They held it nicely for him. Once he was able to turn that corner, he was just a foot race with the defensive back, and he was able to get that first down and more. And now they'll have an opportunity on first down here.
It's the first time I've been doing this for over 20 years. The first time I've heard of a race car driver as a multi-sport athlete.
Exactly.
I still remember, so you guys won't appreciate this. Buddy Lazier, though, he won a 96 Indy 500. He wasn't sure whether he wanted, or I'm sorry, Buddy Rice, my apologies, wrong Buddy, 2004. He didn't know if he wanted to race cars or if he wanted to go, he got drafted in the major leagues as a pitcher. Handoff to the second man through in the backfield, the tight end Guerreri, but that fooled nobody. You guys mentioned it earlier, you thought Guerreri would get a carry on a direct snap. This time, a little counter action works against him.
That's wise again. He's having himself a great game. And by the way, he chose the wrong sport. Should have chose baseball.
Well, the money certainly was not in his favor until he did drink the milk there at Indianapolis. That's for sure.
He'll be known forever as an Indy 500 winner, so it's not a bad decision.
Midway through the second quarter, 15-6 Mohawk with the lead, but second down and 12 after that Guerreri loss. He's again lined up as an H-back. Play action. He's open in the flat. It'll be thrown and caught at the 30. Blocker in front across to the 40. Near midfield where he lowers the boom against the defender right at the midfield stripe. There's the play you've been waiting to see from the tight end.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. The little boot from Rona going to his sideline, and there it is. The tight end, Guerreri, all by himself, takes it and just rolls up the field all the way up to midfield. Nice play. And now they're really heading into Riverside territory, and they have the strong kicker.
Yeah, laying the foundation was Dante Retour. When it comes to your residential or commercial concrete services, you need a team you can rely on. Call Doran Construction for your free estimate today. Great block by him downfield.
The play action, too, also the foundation of that play. Rona's going to scramble up the middle. Had a hole, but it was eaten up in a hurry because Brandon Gasper got him for a 3-yard loss. Closed that hole immediately.
Between Gasper and Wise, I mean, they're having themselves a field day on that defensive line. And we'll be picking a Melee or a LCAP player of the game later on.
They're definitely nominees early on, the way that they've controlled that line.
Well.
I feel like we've called their name on just about every single play. That's a 4-yard loss on the sack. 15-6, Mohawk still with the advantage midway through the second quarter. Thanks to those listening on with our friends at News Radio 1200 WKST. You can tune in and watch live as well at lcsportsnet.com. 3 receivers set. Wagner there is the H-back. He'll be the lead blocker on the handoff to Boston. He gets back across midfield, breaks away from a tackle, now coming in the near side. He's got room in front to the 40. First down and more, 35, spins away from a tackle inside the 30 before he's dragged down at the 27-yard line for a gain of 27 yards.
Boston just doesn't give up on the play. I mean, he goes hit twice, maybe 3 times during that run, and he's just spin to the outside and just used his speed and used his agility to get those extra yards all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Robert Marshall with a great block on the line, too. Holding and hold. I mean, he didn't hold, but a good block to hold that block to let him get through.
To hold without holding.
Yeah, thank you.
It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, is it?
Not tonight, anyways.
2 receivers each way, 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. And a lot of motion. And we've been seeing this a lot, and this is going to be a false start against Mohawk. Riverside, defensively, the whole D-line shifts at once. They've gotten Mohawk then offensively to move in reaction a couple times without entering the neutral zone.
It's legal. As long as they're not moving forward.
Exactly. No. And that's probably a design thing where they they hear something or see something, they want them inch to the left or to the right, depending on what's going on.
As long as they don't simulate the snap count when they do it. That's
right.
The only potential issue. They do it again. This time Mohawk holds firm on 1st and 15. Handoff for Boston. He breaks away from one tackler but won't get away from the second. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe. Actually, they'll mark it for a loss of 1.
Yeah, the sophomore in there on the tackle, Zach Hare. Well, he's a big 6'3", 200 as a sophomore.
Kind of reminds you of a little stunt move on the defense. Instead of coming in, where you bring your outside ends in on a play, it's just more of just see if you can make the offensive line move, and there's nothing wrong with that.
We're blinded by the lights up here on the roof.
Foreigner playing in the background, huh?
2nd and 16, draw play, handoff to Boston, inside the 25, inside the 20. Mohawk back in the red zone after that nice gain. Turns 2nd and 16 into just 3rd down and 3. That's a great, great call on 2nd and long.
Boston's done a great job every time. He sees the holes well. He hits them hard, and he gets upfield, and he runs north and south. Really necessary to pick up those yards when you have just a small hole, but he hits it hard.
Make sure you stop by the Red Zone. Spirit Sales, huge way to help your business. And remember as well, Red Zone's going around everywhere. They're going to be at Shenango tomorrow night. Stop by and check out some of the great apparel that you can get.
Oh, good. I need to order a hat.
3rd down and a long 2 or a short 3 to go, and I think Mohawk is going to call their Pontius Insurance timeout. First one that they've taken here in the second half with 2:44 remaining.
You can visit PontiusInsurance.com to request a quote for auto, home, business, or life insurance.
Jessica Weiland, one of the 3 main three-headed monster there at Pontius Insurance. She was also voted best of the best.
Hey, you got to like the Mohawk. The theme tonight looks like construction workers or something.
Yes, absolutely.
And the cheerleaders also have the vest on tonight. Hey, check that out on one of our camera. Maybe get one of those, the cheerleaders in the construction workers vest tonight. I love it.
Well, you got to love the themes and got to love the fact that you do have a nice crowd on both sides. Good amount from Beaver County making the trip up here in Lawrence County.
It's a big stadium. for Double A.
It really is.
Deceptively big.
Yes. All grass service was like. Ran into the AD, Mr. Ron Moncrief.
He just got a big award as well. He was named like one of the top athletic directors according to Pittsburgh now.
Such a great guy. And you see him dressed tonight?
No, I did not. Was he in the construction worker?
Yeah, he has his work boots on, long sleeves. I said, what are you doing in long sleeves? He said, it's going to get cold tonight.
As we sit up here on the roof in our shorts and shirt. 3rd down and 2. This will be the 9th play of the drive for Mohawk, starting on their own 16-yard line. Snap, high snap, handoff up the middle. Boston, great push up front. He's going to get the first down thanks to the big men.
Yeah, Denver Hoyman was coming in from the blitz, couldn't get there, and that's our four-sport athlete. Football, swimming, golf, and track.
That swimming program has been huge with the Roth brothers and the co-op with Elwood City. Not sure if he was part of that relay or not, but either way, that swim team with only like 6 members on it ended up getting silver at States last year.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
Drive extended. This is now 5 minutes plus on the drive. 10th play of the drive coming from the 15-yard line. Guerreri set up as a fullback in front of the pistol formation. Play action, rolling out to the right. He has Guerreri in the flat, and it's going to be a little bit too hot to handle, incomplete on the pass. But you saw that one coming there, Lee. He was looking for him, just a little too much mustard.
Also saw a hold by Brian Birchfield that wasn't called also, but yeah, it was there.
He had just enough to let go. Right in front of the official. So the official let it go, and obviously.
Again, I'm up here, they're down there.
7 penalties for 55 yards enforced against Mohawk here tonight already. 4 for 30 against
Brian Birchfield throws the discus for the Mohawk Warriors.
He got thrown around, or was thrown around the defense. Roner drops back on 2nd and 10, now scrambles up the middle, has some room, coming to the near sideline, gets away from one man and steps out of bounds inside the 10 at about the 7-yard line. So this is going to be 3rd and manageable again, 3rd down and 2.
Well, Tim, I always hate to say you're right, but you're right in this situation because you said something about Jay Roner in pregame.
Yeah, well, he's shown, I mean, you've seen it last week. He has the ability to really read a defense, and if he takes it and runs, he's going to add a dimension to it. Obviously, I think they were looking into the end zone on that play, but there was covered well. He read the defense well and took it to the left side and was able to pick up 8 yards on that play.
That's his 3rd carry for 21 yards and does make it a very manageable 3rd down and 2. Ball at the 7. Stop clock at 2:01 remaining in the first half. Mohawk trying to increase their 9-point edge. Guerreri now moves to the tight end spot. 2 receivers to the right. Play action. Rona looking towards the end zone. The hit ball is going to be tipped and intercepted. One of the Riverside players hit the arm of Rona as he went to throw it, and it just landed right into the arms of Zach Hare, who was getting blocked, and you saw a ball flutter down right into his arms for a huge Medora Bonner Law change in possession.
And Zach Hare was getting blocked in that play also. Somehow he came up with that interception. Did not see who got it. Number 70. Is that Wise again?
Wow. Yeah, he was right on top of him.
As we check out the replay, Wise just got the arm reach at the last second to be able to get that hit and get the huge interception. 2nd of the game thrown by Rona. Under 2 minutes to play. Riverside now with the ball at their own 8. They'll hand it off to Janice up the middle. Makes one man miss and gets out to the 10, maybe the 11. Clock will wind. Mohawk will not use one of their 2 remaining timeouts yet.
How deflating is that for Mohawk to get all the way down there? You were on your 12th play of that drive inside the red zone, inside the 10, and then have that turnover.
Jeff Wise is only listed at 190 on the roster. Looks a little bigger, but boy, playing defensive, offensive line, having himself a nice night.
That's got to be a typo, right?
You would think.
12 plays over 6.5, or almost 6.5 minutes off the clock on that drive for the Warriors, but no points on the board. It'll be 1:15 as they take this snap. Hand off to Janice on the left side. He's got a big hole. He's got the first down past the 20 to the 25. Room in front, and this one's going to come back as well for a block in the back. Knocked out of bounds at the 45-yard line is Janice. Currently a 33-yard carry, but it's coming back as well.
I'm not sure about that one.
Another mistake.
Yeah. but right in front of the official. Right
and it was close enough that the official. And sometimes as a coach, you say you can't give the officials the opportunity to do something like that.
Exactly. Sometimes it's the mannerism where you're at, and the player in front of you. He sees you, with your hands extended in front of the numbers, and you're going to get that call against you many times.
Well, the good news is it's now 2nd and 4.
So, as our good friend Mark Shaw's taught me long ago, that goes down as a 13-yard run for Janice, and then 10 yards marked from that spot.
Exactly.
Yeah, Shaws would make sure he pointed that out every time,
yes,
too.
he would. Because I'll tell you what, Riverside had a 70-yard pass that got pulled back because of a penalty and lost all those yards that maybe should have been counted.
He has room.
Janice has room again on this carry. Across 30 now to the far sideline. Stiff arms the man at the 40. Hanging on for dear life and making a tackle is Trenton Miller. Under a minute to play, and now Riverside may choose to call a timeout.
Yeah, they're going to, I think, they're calling the Punch Insurance timeout, or are they? You can get the best rates and customer service by calling the local agent of Punch Insurance. Janice doesn't have breakaway speed, but he's got great vision and really a good feel for the field. I mean, you saw him, he was able to break that outside, read that block perfectly, and was able to get that outside and get the yards.
Tim, I got him for 14 carries for $124 and a touchdown for Robbie Janice. And again, Riverside has scored 6 touchdowns on the year. Robbie Janice has 5 on the ground. Oh, and a pick 6 last week, too.
And he had the 20-yard run for the touchdown earlier this quarter here for Riverside. And you're seeing him, what he's able to do more than anything, as Lee mentioned, his vision and making adjustments and getting into the defensive backfield has really been impressive here in the first half.
Now, Riverside doesn't have a field goal kicker that's going to kick anywhere from 40, 50 yards. So they really get down to maybe a 10, 15-yard line to even think about points right now.
Yeah, Brandon Gasper has made the only extra point on the year, 1 of 3 in kicking the football. Is the left guard turned kicker during those conversion attempts, but so you're right, 55 yards, that they would need to get it into the end zone. 53 seconds remaining and only 1 timeout. They'll go with a 5-receiver set for Sam Hughes. He gets the snap, drops back, throw over the middle is going to be high and almost intercepted behind its target, and Miller just couldn't quite get the hands to it. Otherwise, it could have been a pick.
Boy, Aiden Garcia was breaking through the seam there, and he didn't see him. He threw underneath, unfortunately. And Aiden Garcia looked back like, oh, please, run the same play.
You've seen him open down the seam a couple of times tonight, Tim, haven't we?
It's there. It's just a matter of getting the ball to him. But you got to give Mohawk's defense credit. They've been on, not giving him the opportunity to make that throw.
2 receivers each way. High snap for Hughes. Looking left. Now throws one. Does fire one down the sideline. Jump ball. And it's going to be a little bit too far out in front of Aiden Garcia. So he went back to the huddle, said, throw it to me again, but this one too far out in front.
Yeah, not open. Just throw it where nobody can get it that time.
So 3rd down. Ball right at mid. Well, they marked it at midfield. They marked it at the wrong spot. It should be 3rd down and 10 from the 45.
Yeah.
So they gave him 5 yards.
It, yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Those are my favorite, the incomplete passes that gain 2 yards when they mark it at the wrong spot. They get it right here. 15-6, still your score, late first half. Mohawk scored the first 2 touchdowns. Riverside trying to answer yet again. Pistol set. Handoff Janice coming to the right side. He's going to get dragged down for a huge loss. Colton Root, the root of all evil, is number 74 tonight.
And that's the 310-pounder who just threw him down like nothing. And Mohawk's going to call Ponch's Insurance timeout to try to force that punt. Why not? You can't take them with you into the locker room, so why not use a timeout, use your last timeout, maybe try to block a punt or set up a return here.
Well, we've seen a couple of big special teams returns for the freshman Bobby Fadden already, Tim, so I don't mind this decision.
No, not at all, and be interested to see how Riverside handles this with their tendency to gamble on 4th down.
Well,
and we'll see if they're if you take a shot. I mean, I know you're going against a Mohawk team with a great kicker and giving them great field position.
That's the only reason. I was thinking the same thing.
I was thinking that too. However, you have your quarterback as your punter.
Because right now he's in field goal range of 59 yards.
You're any other team in this conference, I think they might think about going for this year, Tim. But
But
doubtful
guess what?
here.
Guess what?
The chart says to go for it.
Well, they are in the gun. Remember, Hughes
Nah,
is the punter.
They're going to back out.
He's going to back up. We'll see if Fadden tries to drop off deep last second. He will. Hughes gets the snap, and it is almost blocked. End-over-end kick is going to bounce at the 25-yard line, take a huge Riverside bounce inside the 20. Not much Fadden could do there. It'll be down with 22 seconds left right at the 20-yard line.
And that's going to change things right now for Mohawk. I think you take a knee, get out of here if you can with a 15-6 lead.
It'll be Riverside with the first opportunity to possess in the second half. So a good defensive, well, if they choose to, you're right.
Which I'm sure they will.
I don't know how the analytics play on that one either. On a calm, cool night in Bessemer, I bet for sure Coach Ramsden will be electing to receive that second half kickoff.
Now, you said you've seen that happen before?
Yes, on a very nasty day, they chose, because the wind was blowing really hard in one direction, they chose to have the wind in their favor instead. Very rare, but it has happened.
I've seen it once or twice myself.
Rhoda will go under center. He'll take the kneel for the team rush for a loss of 1 and end the first half. We'll have the marching bands in a moment. We're going to send it to the Trib Live High School Sports Network halftime show with Mohawk leading Riverside 15-6 here at lcsportsnet.com.
It's the Week 3 edition of the halftime show on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Don Rebel with you. Hope you're enjoying the action of the contest you were watching or listening to on HSSN. Chris Harlan, my sidekick here at the halftime show each and every year, each and every week, is kind enough to join us here. Week 3, we're kicking off a lot of conference games today. That's exciting stuff. But this season, a lot of exciting things going on at 3 particular schools. Well, yeah, 3 particular school districts around the WPIAL. One has already opened up a new stadium, South Allegheny, christened their new stadium right on campus a couple of weeks ago. 2 teams are pretty much playing their season. They didn't sync up as well to have a stadium ready for this fall, but they're pretty much playing most of their games on the road. Everybody's heard about the changes at Aliquippa High School, the historic pit, Carl Ashman Stadium. Got it out, and then they're rebuilding it. The other one is Knock. They're working on major renovations at the facility in Saxonburg, and the Knights thus far, the Road Warriors, along with the Quips. Chris, it leads us to, stadiums. Some old, some new, some may once were borrowed, and some are maybe even colored blue. But every facility, every stadium seems to have its own story.
They do. It's interesting with South Allegheny and Aliquippa going different routes with South Allegheny. The old Glassport Stadium, I think, has been there since about the 50s, where they moved their stadium. They moved up to a school where Aliquippa went the other way. They took the pit, Ashman Stadium, which I think is maybe the most intimidating home field in the WPIAL, and they tore it down to the ground, and they're going to build up a new stadium on that same spot. They said, hey, we want to keep this ground. This is where all the great Quips played. We want to stay here and keep playing in that same spot. So a little different approaches. It will be interesting to see what kind of ambiance those schools have, what the feeling's like coming into the new stadiums. So definitely, and I have an affinity. I kind of like those old stadiums. I kind of do. I understand at some point an old stadium becomes an old stadium and it starts crumbling, and you've got to do something about it. But I kind of like those old ones when you walk into a place like the Wolverine, Woodland Hills Stadium, and you see the oldness of the place and the historicness, and think about the players who have come through that field in the previous years. I think there's something to that. And the place is kind of like Ambridge. They've got an old stadium also built, I think, in the 1930s, and Mo Rubenstein, and they renovated that place and a number of years ago gave it a good upgrade. So, I like to see if you can keep those old stadiums, great, but at some point an old stadium becomes an old stadium and you've got to move on.
next artist was primarily known as a music producer. He did step into the limelight to perform this gospel-infused mega hit from 2010. His lyrics proclaim that you do not need to be rich, and sometimes things don't go your way, but that should never hold you back from living your best life. Here is CeeLo Green's Forget You. The Panther Band will close tonight's performance with another pop hit from 2010. This time featuring our drumline and color guard squad. As the lyrics of this song by the artist Asha say, it's time to live it up. The world, we know we're superstars. We are who we are. Riverside Panther Band is under the direction of David Whitler, with assistants Levi Plasmeyer and Joey Trent. Auxiliary sponsor Brittany Luce. Auxiliary instructor Annie Seeger, with assistants Lacey Neely and Gabby Roberts. The band is grateful for the tremendous support of all the parents in our booster organization. We are Riverside. Let's go Panthers.
And the Wolverine also has something to with just how big it is. I think I've seen it ranked as one of the top 10 high school venues in the country. So that's pretty cool. And it has as much to do with the stadium as who played there. Also boosts up is if you play really nicely, have really good players, then you care. But to me, if you look around the WPIAL, there are some good stadiums that, some of the big ones like Martorelli at North Hills, Newman Stadium in North Allegheny, or maybe a Reeves Field that Beaver Falls uses at Geneva's Stadium, where they're big venues. And when they've got a big game and they've got a big crowd, I don't know if there's anything quite like that either, where you could just get 10,000 people in a stadium all cheering, and that's fun. I mean, those venues there, I think there's something to be said for that too. And even in Norwin now, that's a stadium that's getting used a lot by the WPIAL for championships. When you get a big crowd in a big stadium like that, it's a fun atmosphere.
Enjoy your show as we present Drawing to You.
Play a lot of games at a venue. It starts to get a reputation. No question about that. We are lucky as members of the media. We're usually up high, sometimes a little too high and too far from the action, but nonetheless, you get to appreciate some of the panoramic views of the sprawling hills of Western Pennsylvania. And again, that's the mix of the newer stadiums and some of the older fields, if you will, that allow you to easily imagine the game being played 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah. I also like those stadiums that are still tucked away in communities. They were built in the middle of a town. I think like Offutt Field in Greensburg comes to mind, where it's kind of right there in amongst houses. I grew up in Newcastle, so Taggart Stadium was that way. It's next to a junior high, but still it's right in the middle of a neighborhood where people walk to the game on Friday nights. And I think that's a fun tradition you see at some of those places. It also reminds me of Neil Brown Stadium with Clarendon, kind of there in a neighborhood. If you go there on a Friday night, people are walking in. It's not just a line of cars coming in. People are walking up. Another one, I think it's a fun old stadium that's been renovated, is Graham Field in Wilkinsburg.
Historic.
Historic. Right. You can't say Graham Field without saying historic Graham Field. Another one that tucked into a community that there's something different when you see people walking up on a Friday night. I think Dormont Stadium could probably fit into that category too, where you see people going in.
You could have 100 people at a game at Graham Field, but if the band is located underneath that grandstand and they're playing, it sounds like 5,000 people. So I definitely agree with that one.
Yeah. I also got to give some kudos to some of the new stadiums that are being built too. I mean, you look at places like South Fayette, they did a really nice job. Upper St. Clair built a new administration building right on top of their field to make it part press box. So you see those stuff. I think the new LED lights, you're seeing these giant scoreboards. The Gateway's got one. North Allegany's got them. The big video screens where you can see replays. So schools are putting a lot of money into these fields, and they're doing a nice job. So there's definitely something to be said about the nice brand new facilities. And I think that's where you're going to see it at Aliquippa. When they build theirs up, you're going to see the video screens. You're going to see the LED lights. You're going to see the bleachers that aren't crumbling cement.
Yep.
Not quite the same old pit, but it'll definitely be a nice facility for Aliquippa to play in.
You're out there every Friday. I don't get you. I'm at World Headquarters every Friday. Saturday, I go out. Two of the things that jump out to me, the Herman, Pennsylvania, home of the Summit Academy Knights. That is as old school as you can get. They used to set us up on scaffolding, but they now have a press box. That's a lot of fun. And Riverside Stadium, right? Riverview High School along the banks of the Allegheny. Even though Riverview has struggled over the last couple of centuries, you get a beautiful fall afternoon, late fall afternoon with the trees turning. Oh my gosh, what a backdrop.
Yep. I like when I got the new stadiums. Last year, I got to see Springdale's on a Friday night for the first time. Same thing, kind of tucked into a neighborhood in that. So there's a lot of really nice stadiums out there on Friday nights, and they do. It's part of the fabric of high school football.
So what we're telling you is go out to your local stadium and enjoy some high school football, especially while the weather is still pretty darn good. Chris, good job. We'll talk to you again next week. Enjoy the second half of the game you're listening to. Don't forget the scoreboard show after the game, right here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network.
Thank you, Don Rebel. Chris Harlan with the Trib Live High School Sports Network, back here at Bessemer. Mohawk High School leading Riverside 15-6 at the halftime break. Quick shout out to the marching bands, Riverside under direction of Mr. Dave Withrow, giving you their 2010 songs chosen by the students. Give a shout out to their soloists, Caleb Duder and Patrick Lapergola, their drum majors Lauren Bush and Molly Linville, and the Mohawk Marching Band as well with director Jason Zay. Drawn to You with their show tonight, Emma Gallagher and Xavier Rubanti, the drum majors there. 15-6 your halftime score. We'll get you some other scores here in a moment as you see them all scrolling across your bottom line as well. But real quick, Tim, talk a little bit about this first half, and what do you expect to see from the teams as we start the second half with Mohawk leading 15-6?
Well, we've seen really a hot start from Mohawk in the first quarter with those 2 touchdowns, and really using Jay Rona's arm to get both drives going. And then once they got the air attack going, they would open up some soft spots for Boston, and they were able to take control of the game early. But Riverside in the second quarter really dominated the play of the pace of the game and how they were going to do it. They had Janice open it up with the running game and was able to rush in for that 20-yard touchdown run. They went for 2. It was no good. However, I think it's going to be key here, the first possession for both these two teams here in the third quarter, really to establish, and if you're Riverside, to take control and get back into this and maybe tie this game up, or get close to tying this game up, I should say. Or if you're Mohawk, you want to extend your lead. You want to put more pressure on them to play from behind.
Yeah, good job by Riverside, though, because, I mean, their first 2 offensive drives were 3 and out, and they gave up 2 touchdowns just that early. I mean, they were down 15-0 quick, but their defense really rose to the occasion in that first half, held them off the board, and they were able to score a touchdown. Now they get the ball back here to start the second half.
We'll take a look at the first half full stats in a moment, but we are ready to kick it off, and Wilkins is going to make it not 3 for 3s. This one's caught at the 1-yard line for the opening kick of the second half, but it doesn't matter. It actually might have been better if it went in the end zone, because the return man only gets out to the 12-yard line to start for Riverside in this second half. First half statistics, 176 yards for Riverside in the first half, 240 for Mohawk in the first half. Sam Hughes, the quarterback, going 3 of 9 for 52 yards in the air. Robbie Janis, third straight game over 100 yards. He's got 121 on 15 carries, and the lone touchdown of this game for Riverside, trailing 15-6.
Yeah, Joseph's Marketplace with those stats. Follow them on Facebook to see what's cooking today. We know barbecues this weekend, tomorrow.
Maybe the last one, they'll be at Spadooty Farms for the next couple of weeks. So get it while you can. Play action. Hughes, quick slant, and he's gone! Caught at the 25, and you're probably not going to catch him. Here comes Trenton Miller at the last second. Will he be able to get there? He will not. 87 yards. Lightning strikes on the first play of the second half. Hughes to Hare.
Hare just, once he got into open spaces, that was it. It was just a little slant play. Perfect timing from Hughes, and next thing you know, it's just a foot race. He outraces the Mohawk Warriors all the way to the goal line, and just like that, we got a 2-point game here, or a 3-point game.
15-12 the score, and they will bring on Brandon Gaspard to attempt the extra point, but that was similar to the first play that they succeeded on a first down, right, Lee?
Yeah, sure was. You get that quick slant, but this time, though, no one's in the backfield.
Snap back, kick is up, and it is inside the left upright, and good. 20 seconds into the second half, and Riverside makes it a 15-13 game. We'll keep it right here at lcsportsnet.com. They zone read, they run it so often, but we haven't seen it very much like that. You pulled out of the running back's belly, Lee. Perfect strike on the slant, and with no safety deep, it's a house call.
Yeah, and Zach Hare was running like a hare down the field. No one's going to catch him. As you said, Trenton Miller thought he was going to get there, but Hare had one extra gear that is able to pull away just at the end there. They get into the end zone. A great start here for Riverside, making this a ball game. Let's see if the defense can continue to do what they did in that first half.
Well, you got to love it for Riverside. It's exactly what they needed coming out of the halftime. A big play to start the ball game here in the second half and cut this lead down to 2. And now get your defense out there all fired up. See if they can do something on special teams here and pin back Mohawk. Again, this is now an opportunity for Mohawk to answer. This is what we were talking about coming out of the start of the third quarter. Who can make the big plays early and really establish maybe the momentum of this game?
Low line drive, squib kick will be just fallen upon at about the 29-yard line, and you love the smartness of the entire team. First off, the player falling on it, I believe, was Joey Nail, but then 3 other Mohawk players just all diving on top of him to make sure it was secured at the 30-yard line.
Remind everybody, stay refreshed by enjoying hot or cold water at the click of a button, or enjoy a cup of coffee with our bottom-loading water cooler option. Get 3 free bottles and first month cooler rental free when you sign up today. That's Penn Ohio bottled water.
So the one-play scoring drive to start the second half for Riverside. Mohawk now will try to answer from their own 30. They have a 2-point lead, 15-13. 2 receivers to the right, 2 tight ends set to the left. Boston to the left of Rona. He'll get the handoff, tries to bounce to the outside on the left, and is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he lost a yard. Now with 13 carries for 66 yards is Justin Boston, and he has a touchdown each way in the first half for the Warriors.
Again, Jeffrey Wise, a man possessed. I mean, in the backfield, he chased him down along with Aiden Garcia, but Wise was the one that forced that play outside.
Loss of 2, actually, as they mark it back to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, this defense is very wound up after that 87-yard touchdown.
We'll announce some of the latest scores here in a moment as well across the county. Play action. Rona's going to roll out to his right. Has a man open in the flat. It's going to be off of his hands, a little bit too far out in front of Guerreri. Close coverage on the play by the linebacker, Sam Hughes. 3rd and long coming.
Yeah, I see Newcastle having a rough night. Coach Stacy Robinson trying to get that team going.
They're down 31-6 at half to West Allegheny. Also a halftime score here in the MAC. Beaver Falls 24, New Brighton nothing. Hickory 14-0 over Wilmington at the half. And a late start, Freedom a 7-0 lead over Elwood City at last check at the end of the first quarter.
And Blackhawk lead in Ambridge 17-0.
3rd down and long. This is how Mohawk started their first couple of drives.
You can get a seat in the bar after the game at the Crane Room. Give him a call.
3 receivers set. Rona drops back, fires over the middle, and it's going to be behind the intended target and almost intercepted, as Robbie Janis had a pick 6 last week, and I think he was thinking about that opportunity as that one whizzed by his head.
You got to love how Riverside's defense kept that play in front of them and were able to really limit what Rona could do on that throw, and it quickly a 3 and out, and their offense is going to have a second shot with the ball, and we haven't even played 1 minute here in the 3rd quarter.
87-yard touchdown pass, then a 3 and out. Now you're getting the ball back.
Yeah, Uncle Momentum big time on the side of the green and white of Riverside. High snap and way over his head, but he's able to corral it and get the punt off with a man in his face. Great job, Blake Logan again. He actually had to do that and scramble for a 1st down on a 4th down punt attempt. They're going to have to be working on that, I think, in practice, but I'll tell you what a leg by Logan, too, as it's down all the way to the 27-yard line.
A 49-yard punt, no return, rugby style with Wise in his face. Gonna love it there.
Especially when you get a high snap like that, you had to go back a couple yards and jump for it. And he gets, secures the ball and then was able to get that punt off with the rush around him.
Well, you talk about having the run game to set up the pass game. I think you might have it the other way around now, fellas, because Mohawk was stacking the box. Now after an 87-yard touchdown pass, now maybe we'll open up more running lanes for Robbie Janis, who already has 121 yards on the ground. This won't help, though, moving on the left side. I think it was Gasper moving early. 6th penalty for 47 yards against Riverside. On the other side for Mohawk, 7 penalties for 55 yards in the first half. One of the keys I wanted to mention, too, gentlemen, Riverside on 3rd down, 1 of 5 in the first half. Mohawk, 4 of 6, now 4 of 7 on those 3rd down conversions. So moves it back to their own 22, 1st and 15, pistol set, play action. Hughes again looking to throw it down the field. Man open in the flat, and it's going to be incomplete, out of the reach of Hare. Tight coverage, and he says that Luke Kuhn had a hold of the jersey. The official says otherwise.
I agree. I thought he had a hold of his jersey, but nonetheless, no call. But it was good coverage.
Big defensive series here for Mohawk with the 2-point lead after giving up that big 87-yard touchdown pass to open the 3rd quarter. They need to have some success here just to get themselves settled back in. A 3 and out would definitely bring a lot of momentum back to them.
2nd and 15, Riverside trailing by 2 early 3rd quarter. High snap, play action again, a throw in the flat to Hare, one-on-one, caught at the 20, and he's going to be wrapped up there by Trenton Miller after a short gain. That's a big tackle there by Miller, Lee, because there was nobody over there.
One-on-one, great open field tackle for sure. We already saw Hare break one, trying to get him loose again. He's a big boy, 6'3".
Yeah, I mean, obviously we've seen Hare. You get him in spaces, he can move.
6'3", 200, 3 catches tonight, his first 3 catches of the year, and now over the century mark. After that 4-yard completion, actually, they're going to mark it right back to the original line of scrimmage. A gain of 5, 3rd down, 10 to go.
Yeah, Hare in the slot again. Look out for him.
Slot to the right, 3-receiver set. Guerreri coming on a little corner blitz action. He's picked up nicely. Hughes looks to run. He's going to tuck it. Stiff arms a man, and it's going to be stepping out of bounds at about the 35. Oh, they're going to mark it all the way out to the 37. He kept it in bounds and reached at the last second to get just enough to move the chains.
Give him the 38. He made it by a yard pass, but good job getting him and got a right past Kuhn. The stiff arm on Kuhn, able to get that first down. Good job.
And how about that? 3 passing plays to start, 4 actually in a row to start this second half for Riverside. That one turned into a scramble and a 3rd down conversion. Only the second of the night for the Panthers. Extends the drive out to the 38-yard line. Now they'll run for the first time in the second half. Janis cuts back up the middle to the 45, across midfield, 1st down and more, before finally getting knocked down at the 46 of Mohawk.
Janis just doing what he does, going right up the gut, spinning around midfield, getting a few extra yards and picking up that 1st down on that run.
Well, he's a hard runner. There's Janis. I said he doesn't have that breakaway speed. But boy, he just gets the yards, doesn't he?
We're going to have to get confirmation because he's listed as a sophomore. He plays not like a sophomore, and he actually is one of the captains. Not very often do you see a sophomore as a captain out there for Riverside. For any team, I should say. Handoff for Janis up the middle. He's going to get inside the 40, still pushing the pile for a 5-yard gain on that one. And looking at this too, guys, only 22 dressed tonight for Riverside. We counted 33, I believe, on the Mohawk side out there in uniform this evening.
Yeah, tough to run practices with 22 players. Just ask the Union Scotties.
Yeah, they got 26 this year, and they
I
feel like
saw that.
And they feel like they have enough to go 10 strings.
Yeah, they're the 111th school out of 121 in population.
High snap is going to be a busted play. Good job by Hughes even just to hold on to it, but he's going to get dragged down by a multitude of Warrior defenders for a loss. Well, leaving forward progress back to the 42, so just a loss of 2.
We've seen a lot of high snaps for Riverside here tonight, and that is something that if you're a Mohawk, you really want to take advantage of it. Try to get into the backfield and maybe cause a fumble, and hopefully get a recovery if you're a Warrior.
Coming across the edge, making the left turn there was Leighton Wagner.
Left turn, right?
Left turn. 800 times. 3rd down and 7, 3 receivers to the right. Zone read, play action, throw on the slant to the near side, and almost intercepted. Trenton Miller jumped the route in front of Hare. And actually, I think Hare played a little bit of defender there, Tim.
Yeah, he did. He played it perfectly. He's seen the ball, not going to be able to be in it. He ended up playing a defender and getting his hands out there, trying to deflect the ball away from the defender to keep the possession here for Riverside.
See, I like a punt in this situation, the way your defense is playing, but you're not going to see it.
Well, yeah, and it's not no man's land. Like I said, you may get.
But the way your defense is playing, I like pinning deep, but nonetheless.
You may see a quick kick. I doubt it.
Oh, that is the punter who is the quarterback, but he will not. He'll drop back. He'll look to throw. Has one-on-one coverage down the field. Throw over the middle is going to be high and incomplete.
Flag coming.
We got a flag.
Yep.
We had contact.
And in the college game, Retort would get away with that because it was uncatchable. But Noah George definitely absorbed contact as that ball went whizzing by, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Panthers.
And Zach Hare took a tremendous hit just on the far side also. He's going to come off limping.
He takes the helmet off as he's coming off the field. He just looks upset as he got banged up, kind of caught in between players, it looked like, on that far side.
Yeah, he took a pretty good hit. But I agree with the pass interference call personally.
There was contact. Like you said, in high school, it doesn't matter where the ball is. It is uncatchable is not part of the rule. So there was contact as the ball was delivered, and it was the correct call.
15-yard pass interference gives a 4th down conversion.
Mistakes on both sides of the ball here tonight in key times.
Free 1st down. Janis will get the handoff, tries to bounce to the right edge, does get the edge, but not much room there before he's dragged down at about the 24-yard line. Pickup of 3.
Drugged down by Kuhn on that far side.
Janis averaging 18 attempts per game. He's got that's number 18 tonight.
I was going to say, he's had close to that as we start.
I didn't think he was going to get there the way it started tonight.
Yeah, you're right, but
the 2 3 and outs. They find themselves in this ball game driving to take the lead.
2nd down and 7. They're going to try to go to the left side. He cuts it up the middle, has a hole, has a seam, inside the 20, inside the 15, 1st down at about the 11-yard line, gain of 14. Robbie Janis is starting to see those holes get a little bit bigger out there.
Yeah,
he's just a rumbling guy. I was going to say, just sees those little holes and runs right up the middle. And like you said, it's not breakaway speed, but he's tough to bring down.
Yeah, who's in the middle of that line? Brandon Gasper on the ground after that block.
It's been all Riverside here in the second half. 1 play, touchdown, force a 3 and out. Now this is the 10th play of the current drive. 1st and 10 from the 11. You can get a 1st down without getting into the end zone.
Riverside in the red zone.
Zone read, keeper by Hughes. He's going to go almost untouched into the end zone. Bounces off a man for the 11-yard score. And Riverside takes their first lead of the evening.
Well, they made that look easy, didn't they? The seas parted. And it looks like somebody lost a contact down on the field right now. That was Wise who lost the contact. They found it. Nonetheless, the touchdown for Riverside. We're going to have their Cunningham Funeral extra point, 2-point conversion. Actually, looks like they're going to go conventional here and go for the regular extra point.
Yeah.
10 plays, 73 yards.
Gasper in for the kick.
Gasper to kick. It'll be a snap by Joe Reed. Hughes on to attempt the Cunningham Funeral Home extra point. Low snap and never really able to get a hold of it. Going off the side of the foot. Thanks to our friends at our Cunningham Funeral Home. Learn about their services and pre-planning by visiting cunninghamfh.com or follow them on Facebook. Kick no good, but Riverside leads 19-15. We'll be back in a moment here on the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.
When you're looking for quality concrete services, contact the experienced professionals at Doran Concrete. Our company is family, locally owned and operated, and has been serving the community for over 30 years. Get residential or commercial concrete services for any size job. Our skilled professionals offer prompt and reliable services at an affordable price. We believe in the principles of honesty, integrity, and reliability. Get in touch with us for exceptional concrete services at prices that you can afford.
Joseph's Marketplace is Newcastle's favorite family-owned hometown grocery store and coffee shop. Fresh meats and produce, full-line deli, homemade foods, and much more. Joseph's Marketplace has hot foods prepared every day. They also have Newcastle favorites like grape leaves, hummus, and wedding soup available daily.
Apologies there to Joseph's Marketplace. A quick kick, trying to kick it right at the front man. And a good job of gathering it up and just smothering it, the Mohawk returner.
Cody Falk.
Well, he did his job, and he's going to give Mohawk great field position at their own 45-yard line, and they need an answer big time, Tim.
They really do, and that might be just the momentum they need. They got to have a short field here. They unfortunately have given up 19 unanswered points and lost the lead. They led 15-0 at one point in this ball game. Right now on 1st down, very critical 1st downs. They need to get plus yards here.
Yeah, specials daily at the bakery at Joseph's Marketplace.
Thanks to all they do and all of our sponsors. Please support them as they support us at lcsportsnet.com. Handoff to Boston. Actually looked like he may have even got it as a direct snap as the snap was off the mark, but it's going to be an 11-yard gain and a 1st down into Riverside territory.
Yeah, good cut back too there. He looks like he was going to be tackled, but a good cut back and caught an open space, 1st down.
And that's big there too for that momentum, right, Tim? That's the first 1st down of the second half for Mohawk.
That's exactly what they needed, something positive on 1st down. And here they are on 1st down again. Again, you're looking for 3 to 5 yards. And if you can get more, fantastic. If you get a big play out of it, even better. But a minimum, you want 3 to 5 yards here on 1st down.
2 receivers to the left. 2 men in the backfield with the quarterback. Now Boston will go to the right of Rona. He will get the handoff up the middle, has some room inside the 40, dragged down at about the 37-yard line. So big holes opening up on both sides in the trenches there, Lee. Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Usually one's wearing down the other, right?
You would think so, but Mohawk finding something up that middle right now. So remember, 22 players over Riverside, so they might be getting gassed a little bit.
A lot of those 22 having to go both ways here tonight. Now 15 carries for 83 yards for Justin Boston unofficially. 2nd down and 2 as we hit the midway point of the 3rd quarter. Riverside leading Mohawk by 4. Boston will get his 3rd straight carry. Tries to bounce this one outside. Now spins forward. Saw the opening. Got just enough to move the chains. Needed 2. We'll give him a gain of 3.
And coming up after the game, we'll have our Melee Chiropractic play of the game. Seasonal allergies or changes in weather can affect how you feel on a daily basis. Headaches, joint pain, sinus pressure, even congestion can all be alleviated by chiropractic work. Call Melee Chiropractic and schedule your appointment today.
Got a couple of great options already. The 87-yard touchdown to start this second half for Riverside really stands out. But the way these games have gone, gentlemen, I have a feeling we haven't figured out what our play of the game is yet. Probably have not seen it yet.
Well, you already swore before we came on the broadcast.
Oh, that is true. I did say the O word.
Yes, you did.
High snap, handoff coming right side now for Boston. Gets a good clear-out block, cuts up the field, and he's going to get a gain of only about 3. It felt like a lot more because of the huge hole that was opened up there by Robert Marshall.
Yeah, and a huge hit by Riverside. That was Joseph Reed. Great tackle by Reed to hold him right at the line there, only a couple-yard gain.
Marshall with our Doran Concrete Foundation block there. Call Doran Construction for your free estimate today with over 30 years of experience. They're the team of contractors you want laying down the blocks for your home or office. Now laying down the concrete more officially. They are the foundation. Special thanks to Doran Concrete, Jeremy Doran, everybody there for what they do for us here at lcsportsnet.com. On 2nd and 7, Rona looks to throw for the first time. Good catch right at the first down marker. Down close to the red zone. They'll mark it right at the 20 for a pickup of 12 yards.
Perfect pitch and catch scenario. Just a little hook, Ryan, about 7-8 yards downfield, right in front of the sticks. Make the catch, advance it, get the first down.
Yeah, nice shot by Colton Root on that far side of the line also as Mohawk is entering the red zone.
Did we catch who caught that? I think it was, I thought I heard him say Miller, but we'll have to get confirmation on the reception on that one, but it is at the 20-yard line, first down with 4 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. 2 receivers to the left, handoff for Boston, has a couple of blockers up the middle, but he is gobbled up by Gasper after a short gain, maybe 1 on that carry.
He's listed at 285. I think he's 285. He takes up a lot of space in the middle, does he? Does Gasper. Now we're going to have a official's timeout. We have a player down.
Yeah, we have a Mohawk player down.
I think it's time for our Penn Ohio water.
It is our first official cramp of the night. Give Penn Ohio bottled water. Give them a call for your home or business bottled water delivery, whether it's your standard 16-ounce bottles all the way up to 5-gallon jugs. Let Penn Ohio bottled water do the lifting and bring refreshing H2O right to your door.
That wasn't the intent of having this. I mean, we appreciate the sponsor, but it's turned into that. You know, so the cramp sponsored by Penn Ohio water.
Big thanks to Brian Ches, and we'll give a shout out to the entire Penn Ohio bottled water softball team that just won the Newcastle area slow pitch softball game, which is my segue to say Mr. Lee Moan has a chance to be doing some slow pitch softball work here this weekend.
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, we get to broadcast North Allegheny versus Plum softballs at 2 or 4 o'clock doubleheader on the North Allegheny website, athletics.northallegheny.org. Cannot wait for that. But by the way, we're doing the band festival on Wednesday.
Yes.
Here on LC. How are we picking a player, our Melee Chiropractic play of the game,
well,
or LCAP player of the game?
I'll explain what happened last year with that, because it kind of it helped. It just came to fruition on its own.
Okay.
3 receivers set. 2nd down and 9 coming out of the injury timeout. Rolling out to his right is Rona. He's going to step inside to elude a rusher. Now he's going to take off and run inside the 15 before he's dragged down by Gunther from behind. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
That was a nice run there by Rona, making something out of nothing. Rolling it to his right, like you said, cut underneath and picking up 5 yards on a play that looked like it was going to go for nothing.
So what happened in the BandFest last year, so remember it was actually postponed by a week because of weather, so Lee couldn't make it out there for the game, for the band festival. Well, there were also soccer games that were scheduled for that night. Wilmington was moved to the very end, and their soccer players got there with about 2 minutes to spare between when they were going to go out there. And you had a drummer literally run out onto the field at the very last second to get to his formation, took a little tumble, got right back up.
That's right. Now you remember, and there's the first down by Boston.
Yeah, right at the sticks, and he's going to be getting forward progress inside the 10. Needed 5. He got about 5 yards and an inch. 1st and goal coming for Mohawk, another 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, make sure you stop by the Red Zone on Wilmington Road in Neshannock for all your county sporting apparel needs. Sporting good custom apparel, embroidery, and more. As Mohawk is in that Red Zone right now, and they're more in the Red Zone. They got 1st and goal. Another
Big
nice
opportunity here for Mohawk. They need an answer after giving up 19 straight points.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, starting near midfield, taking advantage of the short kick. A trio of 1st downs on the drive so far. 2 receivers to the short side, the right side of the formation. Boston will get another handoff. Bouncing to the left. His 7th carry of the drive. Fighting off tacklers. He still won't go down. Finally ripped back near the 10, but forward progress down near the 6. A gain of 3. 19 carries for 96 yards. Tim, they're feeding their horse right now.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're best at. Getting Boston the ball, trying to get it into their lanes. Right now, they just got to concentrate on firing out of their blocks, try to create a hole, and see if one of the 2 guys here, if List gets into the ball game because he's a little bit bigger, maybe use him or just use Boston, who's been their workhorse all throughout the night.
And they're also rotating in their receivers. Miller, Fad, and Blake Logan all coming in and out. You also see big number 2 coming in, and Leighton Wagner. He's lined up as a tight end. Dropping back is Rona. His 2nd pass of the drive. Thrown to the flat. Caught by Boston. Makes one man miss. Near the goal line, he's going to be just short. So if you'll hand it to him, you throw it to him out of the backfield, and it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 2-yard line. Less than a minute to play in the 3rd.
Yeah, Brady Newman was able to make that one-on-one tackle just inside the 5-yard line there. Good job by him to hold him out.
3rd and goal for the Warriors from the 2-yard line, trailing by 4. Their first time they've been down tonight, looking to score for the first time since the 1st quarter for the Warriors.
I imagine this is 4-down territory.
2 receivers to the right, ball right in the middle of the field. Guerreri as an H-back, almost like a fullback right now. High snap, able to corral it, is the quarterback. Handoff from Rona to Boston. He's in for the 3rd time tonight. Almost untouched with 14 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Mohawk back up front.
Yeah, Boston got that ball from a very high snap. Rona did a great job getting his ball down and into his belly as he went forward, and he was able to get into the end zone. That's the gamble you take, being in the shotgun 100% of the time. We were down in close. You get a bad snap like that, man, that got to give every coach a little jitters.
And time for the Cunningham Funeral Home extra point.
21-19, the score, PAT pending. They've already had one off snap on the extra point. This one's true. Snap is down. Fadden puts it down, and Wilkins puts his 2nd our Cunningham Funeral Home extra point through the uprights. 22-19, Mohawk leads late 3rd quarter here at lcsportsnet.com. Are you looking to make a difference? Well, here is your opportunity. Lawrence County Child and Youth Services is looking for compassionate foster parents now. If you are over the age of 21, in good health, and wanting to help a child in need, we're in need of you. Receive free training and compensation by becoming a foster parent. Call 724-658-2558 and let Bill, Brooklyn, and Heather get you started. Make a difference and become a foster parent today. A 10-play drive answered by a 10-play drive. That's exactly what it is, Tim. A 10-play drive answered with another 10-play drive. Takes what? Just shy of 7 minutes off the clock. That's a huge answer, Tim, for the Mohawk Warriors.
That's exactly what they needed. You know, after giving up 19 straight points to this Riverside squad, they needed to get out there and do something. They took advantage of a short kick, They only had to go 55 yards. Took them 10 plays, but they got the job done.
Wilkins, his worst kick of the night, bounces at the 11, but it's going to do the job. It'll trickle into the end zone for a touchback. Riverside will start at their own 20. Again, a 10-play scoring drive, 55-yard your Joseph's Marketplace drive summary. Again, check them out, their new cafe and bakery section, and visit Facebook to see what specials they have going daily.
Hey, did we mention Mr. Josh Wilkins, his famous kicker?
Yeah, I don't think we have.
Yeah, go ahead.
Josh Wilkins, the uncle.
Nephew.
Well,
Yeah, the nephew, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically.
The uncle-nephew relationship.
sorry.
You can fill in the blanks there. Josh is the nephew of, why can't I think of the?
Jeff Wilkins?
Jeff Wilkins, thank you.
Yes.
That's why I threw it to you, because I forgot.
Handoff up the gut, not much room. He should have gone to your right instead of your left, and I think that might be actually what Mr. Janis on the field is thinking, because there was a big hole on the right side.
Won the Super Bowl with the Rams back in the 90s.
Yes.
What was it? Fastest team on turf?
And that's going to do the third quarter.
After the 4-yard carry, it's 22-19. Mohawk leading Riverside. Riverside possession when we come back at the end of this station break. Back in a moment here at lcsportsnet.com and listening on News Radio 1200 WKST.
For the most complete recap of Friday night's high school football action, tune in on your way home from the game to the WPIAL Scoreboard Show, only here on the Trib Live High School Sports Network. Hi, this is Don Rebel. Join me in a cast of thousands for all the scores with recaps from the top games, plus we highlight the night on the Trib Live Roundtable. That's the WPIAL Scoreboard Show after the game on Friday nights on the Trib Live High School Sports Network and at tribhssn.triblive.com.
Don't get left out to dry. Call the Penn Ohio Bottled Water Company for the fastest and most efficient bottled water delivery service in the area. Penn Ohio offers bottled water ranging from 16.9-ounce bottles to 5-gallon jugs, perfect for your next event or office water cooler system. Also, don't forget to ask about their custom labeling options. Visit PennOhioBottledWater.com for more information and to get a quote on their delivery services. Whether it's at home, in the office, or on the sidelines, Penn Ohio has you covered.
12 minutes on the clock, fourth quarter about to get underway here from Bessemer as Mohawk leads Riverside 22-19. Play action for Hughes, looking on the slant, throws it over the middle. It's going to be just too far out in front of the intended target, Noah George.
And he had him. that was touchdown if he catches it.
And I think that's what George is thinking too, but Hughes kind of had to rush the throw because there was a lot of heat right in his face, Tim.
Yeah, that's what the Warriors need to do. They need to get and put pressure on him. He's been able to get the ball out of his grips a few times and make big plays, but right now, while we're into the finals 12 minutes, it's going to be even bigger on this defense to make big plays here for Mohawk.
How about Hickory leading Wilmington 14-0 at the end of 3?
Well, wow. Hickory's playing well. No doubt about that. Third down, great cut from the backfield from Janis. Lowers his shoulder, and he's going to get enough for the first down. That's one of the best runs we've seen tonight. It only goes down as a 7-yard gain, but man, Lee, that feels a lot bigger than that for Riverside.
That feels like a 50-yard gain right there. Boy, what a nice cut back. Getting that first down. He knew where that first down marker was too, and he lunged for it and got it.
What a workhorse he's been for them. Just every time they needed it 6-7 yards, it seems like they give it to him and he finds a way to get it done.
Yeah, we've seen two running backs that are absolutely putting the team on their back. High snap, it'll be the 22nd carry of the night for Janis, but not much going this time. Upended right at the line, maybe a gain of 1 for Janis on that play.
Yeah, it's Kuhn and Chapman in on that tackle there.
Beaver Falls now up 32-0 over New Brighton. Last check we had, West Allegheny was leading 31-6 over Newcastle. We'll try to get you another score update on that one.
You know, you bring up the analytics part of Riverside. I'll mention something after this play here.
Second down and 9. Janis fake this time. Keeper for Hughes. Hasn't done it much tonight, but it's worked for a touchdown. And this one, he almost breaks away for a first down. He's going to get tripped up about 2 yards short along that left end. Third down and 2 coming.
We've seen both teams with long drives going in for touchdowns and really chewing up the clock in the third quarter. This is going to be a scenario where a fourth down play will be a big part of both teams here in the fourth quarter to try to keep a drive alive if necessary. It's going to be really interesting what decisions are made here if it does come to a 4th down and it'll say under 5 to go.
It's only the 6th time that Hughes has kept the ball on the ground. High snap, hand up in the middle, and he is gone right through the line. Janis, one man to beat and trying to get the strip at the end, but cannot get to it. Janis with another house call. 62 yards, his second of the night.
And no flags. Right up the middle again. Boy, we've seen Riverside just annihilate the middle of this Mohawk defense tonight.
Well, Tim, on that one, Mohawk brought the middle linebackers on a stunt blitz right up the gut, and it's like they weren't even there. He ran right through them.
Well, that's what happens. You bring them in like that. If they get blocked in a wedge type scenario, there's no one behind them, and it's like kind of like a goal line stance type scenario.
Kick is up, and it is good. 4-point advantage for Riverside, 26-22. We'll be back in a moment. Just 10 minutes to go here at lcsportsnet.com.
Joseph's Marketplace is Newcastle's favorite family-owned hometown grocery store and coffee shop. Fresh meats and produce, full-line deli, homemade foods, and much more. Joseph's Marketplace has hot foods prepared every day. They also have Newcastle favorites like grape leaves, hummus, and wedding soup available daily. Follow Joseph's Marketplace on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates or stop in to see what's cooking each day. Come hang out at the brand new cafe and bakery, full of great coffee, drinks, sandwiches, snacks, sweets, and free Wi-Fi. In a rush? Go to josephsnc.com and place your cafe order online. Joseph's Marketplace, family owned and operated since 1915.
I think the key to any attorney-client relationship is trust. My father told me a long time ago, the definition of personal integrity, it's really simple. Do what you say you're going to do. At LGKG, we've been doing that for over 80 years.
6 plays, 80 yards, just 2 minutes off the clock. Riverside back up by 4. Short squib kick, and it's almost going to work like an onside kick. Mohawk at the last second is going to fall on it. At about the 38-yard line. Looked like a missed kick, really, from Brandon Gasper, but it almost worked to the Riverside advantage.
Just kind of topped it. I was going to say, just had a screwball effect to it, and then just rolled down the left sideline. It was just perfect, like you said. Almost came to a onside kick here for Riverside, but good field position here for Mohawk.
When's the last time you've seen a 285-pound kicker? Getting the job done, though.
What was his name for Penn State a few years ago?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
The big boy.
What was his name?
You should know.
I
You're
forget.
the Penn State fan.
Katie, our social media account, is definitely watching and listening at home. She'll have to inform us on that one as Boston gets a carry up the middle, keeps the legs driving, and now he's over the century mark with that short carry.
Yeah, he's the one that made those fantastic tackles downfield, right?
It would make Pat McAfee very jealous.
Yeah. He never did make it in the NFL, though, did he?
No, he did not. He actually, you want to talk about a great story. He knew that he was suffering. He had an overeating problem, and he just suffered from mental health as a result, and actually took himself away from the game because of the fact that he was struggling with those mental health issues and knew he needed help and was able to seek that help. So we applaud him and hope that he's doing well with everything he is doing now in his life. 3-yard carry for Boston on that last play. He's going to bounce this one to the outside. He's got some room in front, looking for a block, trying to get to the edge, and he's going to kind of run out of real estate, maybe try to do a little bit too much there, Lee. Ends up only getting a 2-yard gain on that one.
Yeah, sure, probably stuck with the inside there, but it felt like he was going to be do better outside, but good pursuit by the Panther defense. To only hold that to a minimal gain, so it'd be about 3rd and about 5 or 6 here for Mohawk.
Yeah, we'll call a long 5. 22 carries for 104 yards and 3 touchdowns for Justin Boston. On the other side for Riverside, Robbie Janis now 23 carries for 235 and a pair of scores. 3rd down, long 5, short 6 to go. 3 receiver set, Rona in the gun. Down to 8:30 remaining. Rona looking to his right, pumps, fires, has a man open, cuts down, caught at the 45-yard line. Great play, great pitch and catch to move the change for the Warriors. Is that retort?
That's Blake Logan.
Number 5, Blake Logan, excuse me. By our count, his first catch of the night.
My light burn out? Ah, there we go. Must be on a timer.
10-yard pitch and catch, perfectly executed. 152 yards through the air for Rona, but a huge third down conversion. Mohawk 6 of 9 on those third downs, actually. Second man through, Guerreri on the handoff, lowers the shoulder. I love that they're trying to find a way to get the big man some carries. The tight end by trade gets the 4 yards on that run.
It works out well for that because, A, it gives Boston a little rest. We haven't seen List really carry the ball too often, but I think we may have, is that Guerreri down?
Yeah, they got to bring him some Penn Ohio water.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna have to make sure our friends at Penn Ohio Water are okay that we're using this as a as a your cramp brought to you by. I'll tell you what, I will say this: compared to the first 3 weeks, very few cramps that we've had. It's been improving as you would expect, but especially a Riverside team that didn't play a week 0 game, a Mohawk team that didn't play a scrimmage and week 0 or week 1. The fact that this is only the second stoppage for cramping is very, very encouraging.
And actually, this is for the team. It gives them a chance to break, get around their both respective coaches and go over some basic knowledge and talk about what's going on, what you need to be responsible for, and get ready for your next opportunity here on the field.
We got an answer, by the way. Big Toe, by the way, his name, Joey Julius. Big number 99, the Big Toe for Penn State. Thanks, Katie. We knew you'd come through on that one.
Yeah, big shout out to her. She's doing a great job on keeping the website. We don't have to worry about tweeting out anything.
I know, right?
This is great.
Great addition to the crew. We got a couple new additions here tonight. Tyler Aaron here as well. His first time on the cameras for us.
You can see him.
Second down and 6. High snap. Boston will get the handoff. Lowers his shoulder, trying to drive forward. Maybe a gain of 1 or 2.
Yeah, you set up that camera kind of high, and well, Tyler's 6'7", so he reaches it real easy.
It never hurts to have a little height on your side.
No.
Big third down coming up here.
Hey, quick shout out to Lori as well. She just gave me the answer, but you were about 30 seconds late there, Grandma.
Like I said, big third down coming up here for Mohawk. One thing you can't do is lose yards here because you want to set up the potential, if necessary, to go on 4th down.
Mohawk down by 4. We're down to 6:40 remaining.
That button hook's been open.
3rd and 3. Handoff. Boston looking for some room. Driving forward. Now breaks away from a tackle and gets the first down inside the 35. Down to the 31-yard line. Lee, how in the world did he escape?
I have no idea how he did. He was wrapped up, and then, boy, he just kept those legs churning, broke the tackle, get the big first down. Boston's been huge here in the second half.
Great shout out to our construction workers on the sideline. They got the whole fan base now on the sideline with the cheerleaders.
I love it.
Little dance off there. I'll tell the turnaround because we got a barn burner of a game going on. We're down to 6:15 remaining. Mohawk down by 4. We've already had 3 lead changes in this second half. Mohawk hoping to make it a 4th. Boston, carry number 25. Not much room there. Maybe a gain of 1. They're working their horse. Coach Rudminski there on the sideline, barking in the plays, trusting their junior tailback.
Remember, we'll have our LCAP player of the game later on. Head Start, PA, and pre-K count programs. Children under the age of 5 can receive free quality preschool at various locations around the county. That's LCAP player of the game after the game.
Lots of great ways LCAP is changing lives. We're midway through this 4th quarter. Great drive here from Mohawk. The 8th play of the drive coming up. Rona looks to put it in the air, throw out into the flat, and I don't think he ever saw it. It went off the arms of Trenton Miller. He couldn't have handled it really any better, except he didn't have eyes on it.
Yeah, he just once he turned a little bit too late. The ball was just hit him a little late, not come up with it.
So now the question here, guys, it's 3rd down and 9 from the 30. This is basically on the edge of Wilkins territory for a field goal, but you're down by 4. Are you even considering that right now, or is it all 4-down territory?
I think it's probably 4-down territory, but right now you want to pick up 5 or 6 minimum. You want to go forward. You don't want to be 4th down and 8.
A little shift. It got him to jump. Guerreri's still, by the way, still on the sideline trying to stretch out that cramp.
Right now, you got to be thinking maybe even get Rona in out of the pocket and get him rolling where he can use his legs on this down. And if he doesn't see anybody open, he can take off and run. We've seen him do it a couple times really successfully here today. It'd be a great opportunity. I'm sure that's what Riverside's thinking too. But you really got to go with your strengths.
They bring a tight end off the field, and they bring a receiver back on, and Dante Retort. 3rd down and 14. Rona gets the snap. Plenty of time. Good pocket. Lost one down the middle of the field, and it's going to be incomplete with a flag. 3 flags, 4 flags thrown. Everybody saw that contact just a second too early.
The coach for Riverside doesn't agree with it, but we have a flag back at the 40.
That could be, that's in the area maybe holding or maybe a late hit, so hold the phone all around.
Yeah, we may
there's
have
no way he
offsetting
threw
penalties here.
Yeah, there's no way that flag at the 40 was for the pass
interference.
There are 6 officials on the field, and there are 5 yellow hankies out there, gentlemen.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like fireworks night there.
Tell our cameraman on the field, Mr. Rob Natel, to take 5 steps forward. We'll have 6 yellow hankies on the field. Great work from him on the sideline cam all night
holding
long.
on Riverside and pass interference on Riverside.
Wow. Well, the 15-yard penalty will give them a 1st down.
So it's going to be a 1st down on the penalty no matter what for the 15 yards. Now, is this a situation where you can accept both penalties?
No, the one was declined.
The holding was declined,
yes,
okay.
Yeah, Coach Ramsden just irate right now. Can't believe it.
Defensive holding, interesting.
Yeah.
Usually that happens if a lineman tries to grab an offensive lineman, a defensive lineman grabs the offensive guy so that someone can stunt around, but that was a late throw. So not sure how exactly that worked, but
that usually happened in high school, only in the NFL or college.
3rd 1st down of the drive. 5:22 remaining. Mohawk now in the red zone. Ball to 20-yard line. Handoff. Boston up the middle. Nowhere to go. May have lost a yard, actually. Those holes are starting to close up a little bit here on this long drive.
How about Sam Hughes coming in with the tackle? Haven't not called his name a lot on the defensive end tonight, but came in from safety position and made a nice tackle.
10th play of the drive upcoming. We're going to say no gain on that last carry, keeping them right at the 20-yard line. 2 receivers each way. Kuhn and Logan to the right. Retort and Miller to the left. Miller's going to come in motion with some jet sweep. They're going to fake to him. Rona sets up the screen in the middle. Ball's going to be caught at about the 17-yard line down to the 16-yard line as he was wrapped up almost immediately on the catch. I believe that was
Sam Hughes again.
Yep, and another cramp maybe at the end of this play.
That I don't think's a cramp.
Still trying to see. It's the guy who made the catch
Yeah.
who is the injured Warrior out there. And they are going to stretch out for the cramp. Remind you, coming up after the game, we will have our Maley Chiropractic play of the game. Make sure you go and visit Doctors Mitch Maley, Chris Ardro, or Kelsey Bowser. They're voted best of the best chiropractic in Lawrence County, and part of it's because of the teamwork. I still remember a couple of weeks ago, guys, when we got a chance to go and help make their new commercial, showing all sorts of different adjustment techniques.
He's going to have to come out and sit out this play, though, unfortunately. So that's going to probably bring in List, you would think, on 3rd down and 7.
Now Boston now with 26 carries and 3 receptions on the night, but he will have to step aside for at least one play. We'll see what Mohawk does. They do bring List in the backfield, Guerreri back in there as a blocking back, 3 receivers in the formation. It's 3rd down and 7. We're down to 4:15 remaining. Mohawk down by 4.
Well, you got Retort all alone on the left side here.
High snap, List, handoff. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. Bouncing off tackles. Pinball it into the end zone. 17 yards. Sam List puts Mohawk back ahead.
For Mohawk, just grinding it out and then using their Sam List to take it to the house, 17 yards out, bouncing off players and going to his left, making sure he got to the end zone.
11-play scoring drives. So the second half scoring drives, after the 1 play to start it, a 10, 10, 6, and now 11-play drive for Mohawk. Big important extra point here. We'll try to put the Warriors back up by 3. Snap is back. It's off the mark, but Wilkins adjusts the feet. Did he get it in? No, it is wide to the left. No good. The snap was mishandled. It was a little bit wide on the snap. It's only a 2-point advantage. Might that come up big down the stretch? We'll see. Back in a moment. 4:05 remaining. Mohawk leads here at lcsportsnet.com.
At our Cunningham Funeral Home and Crematory, we are a proud 6th-generation, family-owned and operated funeral home located centrally in the Newcastle and Neshannock communities. Our large facility and experienced staff allows us to accommodate any family with personalized services. To learn more about our services and pre-planning, visit our website at www.cunninghamfh.com or follow us on Facebook. Allow our family to help your family.
For more than 120 years, people have relied on Martindale-Hubbell's preeminent rating to select their attorneys. If you've been involved in an automobile accident, you should do the same. At LGKG, we have been preeminently rated for over 40 years.
11 plays, 62 yards, 6 minutes off the clock. Sam List comes in and puts it with a 17-yard touchdown run on 3rd down. Squib kick this time from Wilkins, taken at the 10-yard line. Few chances for Riverside to return tonight, and not much room here. Out to the 22, maybe the 23. That's it. 4 minutes exactly on the clock for Riverside to come up with an answer, but it's been all offense for both these teams really in the second half.
And that was your Joseph's Marketplace Drive Summary. Joseph's Marketplace, Newcastle's favorite family-owned hometown grocery store and coffee shop.
So here we go. Riverside starting at their own 22.
I think the key here for Mohawk is obviously first down, but more importantly, make sure Janis doesn't get a big run. He's been so important to their offense. Either the 6-7 yard runs or the big one like he had for the touchdown run.
Well, Janis will get another carry, his 24th of the night, and he's pinballing off tacklers. He's dragging forward for a 12-yard gain and a first down. 247 yards on the ground. Real quick before I forget, gentlemen, that 11-play scoring drive, Mohawk was 3 for 3 on 3rd downs, and that's got another one converted on a penalty.
And Riverside has all 3 timeouts left, if you're thinking that, as the clock continues to run with 3:40 to go here in this game.
I'm just continue to feed Janis on this drive.
Yeah, so plenty of time is what you're saying right there, Lee.
You got it.
Pistol set. They will feed Janis coming to the right side, cuts up the field, able to get away from the first tackler, but holding on down at the legs. I believe that was Bobby Fadden. Well, freshman, called his name right from the get-go tonight.
I want to see them take a shot at right in the middle of that field. They've been successful with that slant in the middle all night long. It's been open. They missed a couple times, too.
Maybe a little RP up Janis and throw over.
Janis thought he was going to take the ball.
Well, we saw it last week. Hughes and Janis both over 100 yards rushing. They ran that zone read to perfection. Only the 7th time that it's been a carry on the evening for the quarterback, Hughes, but nearly disastrous. Riverside still breathing, but 2:30 remaining. Panthers trailing Mohawk by 2.
Crowd coming to life.
2 receivers each way on 3rd and 9. Zone read, play action, throw on the quick slant. It's going to be deflected and almost intercepted and then almost caught by Riverside. And that was a close one, too, as Riverside claiming there was a lot of contact there, but the pass was also deflected by the defender there, Tim.
That's exactly why there's no interference, because the ball was hit first by the defender. He got in front of the play and was able to hit the ball. So once the ball's deflected, the receiver's fair game.
Yeah, I thought it was good timing anyways, so.
Did a good job of not going directly through the receiver either. Got the arm around to knock it away. Biggest play with 2:18 remaining. 4th down and 9. Mohawk faithful coming alive. Hughes looking down the field. Has a man open, streaking down the seam. Caught at the 30-yard line. Riverside, the 4th down conversion. Another deep pass. And I believe it is Zach Hare again.
That's Brady Newman.
Excuse me, Brady Newman, his second catch of the night. Wow.
What a throw on 4th down. How do you let a receiver get 2 steps behind you? But Brady Newman, give him credit, got the first down. Riverside not going away quietly, still with their 3 timeouts, down to 2 minutes. Mohawk.
We talked about 4th down conversions. I believe that's the first official one that they have tried. They got one on a penalty, but the first official conversion, 1 for 1, and they're in the red zone. Under 2 minutes to play, down by 2. Handoff, Janis trying to bounce to the left side, trying to get to the corner, cuts inside, first down inside the 10, down to the 8.
And now it's just feed Janice. I mean, you got to just keep giving him the ball. I know we're down to 1:38 left in this ball game, but he is such a weapon. He sees the field so well. He makes adjustments as he runs better than about anybody we've seen on the field here tonight.
Mohawk's got to think about taking timeouts. They have 3 clocks running. Now Riverside, why not? Take your time here. Let the clock run.
They still need to put it in the end zone or attempt a field goal. And again, they're
let them take their first time out. Riverside's going to do that right now.
Well, the clock stopped while the chains were moved, so this is probably the best time for Mohawk if you're not going to use a timeout. This should get down to about the minute mark.
Yeah, Mohawk just let 40 seconds run off the clock.
Yeah.
Probably about 30 because of when they had to stop it to move the chains. But nonetheless, you're about right as they do take the Ponch's Insurance timeout with 1:02 remaining.
That's Riverside who took the timeout.
Riverside takes it, yes.
Yeah. Mohawk, they're going to have to take 3 timeouts here if Riverside. You have to have some type of time. Remember, you got a good leg in Wilkins in case Riverside does score.
So they missed extra point does give Riverside the chance to win with a field goal, though we haven't been exactly.
Casper has not looked.
Yeah, it hasn't looked great on those extra points.
But he's made them.
He has.
He's made 2 of the 3 that he has officially gotten to attempt.
And 25 yards, that's probably his range.
Score update real quick. Wilmington has tied it up. Wow. With Hickory. 14-14. Freedom now a 21-0 lead in the third quarter over Elwood City.
And that's your crane sauce there at the Crane Room. Super secret smoky spicy sweet sauce.
Will this ending be sweet or will it be
smoky?
Up in smoke for Mohawk. They lead by 2. Riverside, handoff right end, nowhere to go for Janice. Luke Kuhn coming in and disrupting the play.
More than anything, I love what Janice did. He moved the ball towards the center of the field. So if they run it up the middle, it'll stay in the center, and they can use a timeout to use the field goal by Casper if necessary.
But Mohawk is not using the timeout.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Letting the clock continue to run. They have 2 timeouts. You got to. They have all 3 timeouts. They got to use them.
They're saying they want to have Riverside not time to think about it. They need to rush because they still need to put it in the end zone. High snap, it goes over the head of Hughes. Back to the 21-yard line, and he falls on it. And now Riverside's going to have to call a timeout. Wow, the worst time in the world for something like that to happen. That's a loss of 14.
We've been talking about it all night, the high snaps and how Hughes is handling them well. That one was just a little too tall and too hot, and it got behind them, and they lost about 15 yards on the play, getting the ball back to about the 23-yard line. A huge mistake here for the Panthers.
Wow, he's still got 2 plays. He's still got to get inside or down to about the 10. So they need about 12, 15 yards right now to get in field goal range if you don't want to go for the touchdown.
Well, you got to figure it's now they have to throw the ball.
Yeah, well, and I'll tell you what, guys, I was just thinking about it, too, as I was adjusting my papers up here. With the temperature going down, it is getting a little dewy out there. Could that have been just enough the difference of why the quarterback, Hughes, could not secure that snap?
I think it's just a little too hot, too high.
3rd down and goal from the 22-yard line, 23 seconds remaining. Riverside trailing by 2. Hughes handles this snap. Stands in the pocket, got time, down the middle of the field, and it's going to be a diving, incomplete pass, but a flag thrown at the goal line. This will be pass interference against Mohawk. This will be a half the distance, and it'll still be 3rd down. No automatic first downs in high school.
Exactly.
It takes it down to the 11-yard line, though, which puts you back in field goal range in case if you don't get the 3rd down conversion.
An 11-yard pass interference, and again, no automatic first down, so it'll remain 3rd down. If you're beat, it's actually not a bad penalty to take.
No, it's not. But here's the thing. If you're Riverside, you're going to the end zone on this play. You just want to make it quick and into the corners where your player has his best shot. Unless you find someone wide open over the middle, I imagine this is going to go either to the left corner or the right corner here.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right from the 11, 3rd and goal. Firing towards the back corner, jump ball, and it's going to be in the back end zone. Did he take it? Toe tap and catch. No way. For the touchdown is Noah George. Perfect pass over the shoulder to the pylon. The 11-yard touchdown with 9 seconds remaining.
Perfect pass.
What a catch.
Hughes was just so calm back there. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. He let his player lead into the end zone and threw it right to the pylon, and he made a perfect play on the ball.
What a time for your first catch of the night. 9 seconds left. Now Hughes will hold. Gasper on for the extra point. Kick is up. It is no good. 9 seconds remaining. Let's keep it right here at lcsportsnet.com. Riverside 32, Mohawk 29. And at this point, the Mohawks got timeouts. Not that that's going to matter much at this point, but what you got to be thinking, how much yardage can you get? How far do you need to get it to have a chance? Field goal won't do you any good. So how far can Rona throw the football?
Well, here's the question is, do you just go for the razzle-dazzle play here on the kickoff and try to just keep it alive and go along? In 9.2 seconds, you're going to have to get the ball out to the 40-yard line no matter what to really throw the ball enough downfield for you would have a chance to advance it into the end zone. Or at least try to coax a defensive penalty to get another play. So
I'm still amazed at the catch of Noah George. I mean, what a perfect throw. The only person that could catch that ball was Noah George. And then the toe tap at the end to keep 1 foot in.
The adjustment in the air, too, to the pass.
He had 2 feet in, too.
I have a feeling we know our Maley chiropractic play of the game. All right, caught at the 40-yard line, maybe. Let's see. Will the razzle-dazzle begin? And dragged down at the 37-yard line as they were trying to make something happen was A.J. Cassidy.
But Joe Reed twisted the wrong way.
5 seconds remaining, and you're right. Reed made the tackle, a great tackle, but then down low, something didn't bend correctly.
Yeah, he's pointing to his left leg.
That's last thing you ever want to see, but especially a game that's been so great. 5 lead changes in the second half.
Down to 4.5 seconds to play in the game.
Yeah, he's pointing to that left knee, left leg area right now. He took an awkward fall trying to drag down that tackler. Unfortunately, we saw this a couple weeks ago with 2 minutes left when Peyton Weaver went down.
Play for Peyton T-shirts being passed out from our friends at the Red Zone.
Yeah,
you hate to have any of those kind of scenarios ever in a ball game. That one late, this one also late.
He's sitting up.
That's a great sign from Joe Reed.
Boy, I hope it's a cramp.
It must
Amen.
be. Oh, look at that.
For the way he was pointing at his knee and that he just gets right up ready to play. Had us all scared for a minute, did Joe, but now he has to go to the sideline. The ball's at the 37-yard line. Mohawk needs to go 63 yards in 4.5 seconds, and they will take a Pontius Insurance timeout to think about it.
You can visit PontiusInsurance.com to request a quote for auto, home, business, or life insurance.
This is going to be a scenario where the hook and ladder, you're going to see maybe a multiple pass where you throw it out wide and try to throw it back, try to get some flow to one side and have some open field to the other side where you can then race towards the end zone. It's going to be a difficult play, but you're going to pull out everything that you have in your book here.
Forget about a hook and ladder. It's going to be chutes and ladders right now.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you have to go down deep, but right now this is the scenario you're in and trying to keep the play alive.
Well, remember last week Blake Logan did attempt a pass, so if that has to come into play of trying to throw something long backwards across the field or something, that could also work in your favor. Now Riverside's going to take a timeout to make sure they're all on the same page defensively and make Mohawk think about it again briefly.
You want two Riverside guys back probably about the 20-yard line.
You're going to rush 3 too, so you're going to have 8 guys back.
I'd rush 1. Forget about it. Just
1 or 2 and just, have everybody drop back. So
with 5 seconds left too, guys, very difficult to maybe, try to get a pass that you gain 10 yards and get down immediately. If it was 5 or 6 seconds, maybe, but once you get under a second left, the clock has to wind down when you have the decimal clock up there, as, again, our friend Shaw's would absolutely be going bonkers with tenths of a second on a clock on a football field.
No, he'd be saying 4 seconds, not 4.5.
Rounds up. It should be 5 seconds, right?
Yeah. He never used it. He always hated that. The great late Mark Shaws.
Ball to 37 from Mohawk. 5 lead changes in the second half. Mohawk now down by 4. One final play to go. Mohawk led 15-0. Riverside just scored with 9 seconds left in the game to take the lead here in the MAC opener.
So Riverside's only got...
They're going to send 4 receivers in pattern.
Yeah,
Looks like
they're not playing too deep, though.
2 receivers each way, 3 defenders standing at about their own 40-yard line. Now a 4th is going to drop back. Rona drops back in the pocket. He's going to wait. He's going to fire one down the field. Jump ball is going to be deflected and incomplete at the 25-yard line. And that's your ball game. Riverside comes into Bessemer, comes from behind in an instant classic, and wins with under 10 seconds to go. Your final score, Riverside 32, Mohawk 28. They went deep about as far as Rhoda could throw it, but Riverside able to knock it away, Tim.
Yeah, he had a man down there who was just waiting for the ball. Unfortunately, there was 2 Riverside players there, and they knocked the ball down. Exactly what you're taught to do, end the ball game. But what an amazing game to watch. Back and forth here in the second half, and the 19 points put on the board after Mohawk took the 15-point lead here by Riverside. Really dictated it, and then in the third and fourth quarter, just trading blows, both of them scoring at will.
We're going to step aside, take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back. Take just a 60-second timeout, and then we'll be back to begin our Tri-County Principals post-game show here when we return on the Lawrence County SportsNet and on News Radio 1200 WKST. For 20 years, Melee Chiropractic has treated athletes of all ages to help them get safely back to the top of their game. Melee Chiropractic has 3 full-time doctors in their office, and all 3 are former area athletes who have had to battle injuries throughout their careers. They want to help you get safely back on your feet. But more importantly, help stop the injuries before they happen. Prehab before you rehab. Attention all high school student athletes. During your sports season, a $25 visit to the Melee Chiropractic office includes an adjustment and/or all therapies necessary, from the athletes of tomorrow to the weekend warriors and everything in between. Let Melee Chiropractic keep you in the game.
Having a safe and healthy home is not something to play games with, especially if your home was built before 1978. You may be exposed to extremely harmful lead-based paint hazards. If you're concerned about lead in your home, don't roll the dice on your family's safety. LCAP's Healthy Homes Lead Hazard Reduction Program is here to help you win the battle. Your family's health and safety is the goal. Contact the Department of Healthy Homes today.
We'll start our Tri-County Principals post-game show here from Bessemer. Final score, Riverside 32, Mohawk 28, a game that featured 5 lead changes in the second half. We'll get our full scoring recap here in a moment alongside Tim Continenza and Lee Moan. I'm James Dotson. Tim, we'll start over on your end. Just obviously an incredible ball game, fun one to be a part of, one that you hate to see either team lose, but you got to love the determination because neither team was willing to give up when they would lose the lead in the second half. Came back blow for blow like a heavyweight bout.
It really was. And just that. It was a heavyweight bout between these 2 schools. You know, you had the initial knockdown by Mohawk in the first quarter, getting out to a 15-point lead, even taking advantage of a couple bad snaps that went their way to get some points on the board. And unfortunately for them, in the second and third quarter was dominated by Riverside. They scored 19 unanswered points to take the lead. And from there, it was just back and forth. Who's going to have the ball last really determined this ball game. And you got to give it up to Riverside coming up with a huge play on 4th down the middle, making that reception, and then the one into the corner with just 9 seconds left in the game. Just an amazing turn of events here tonight. And you got to give it up to Mohawk. They never, ever gave up. They played to the final seconds of tonight's ball game and just came up a little short. Heartbreaking loss here for the Warriors.
That big play, the 4th downs, so they went for the long, or it was a 3rd down, excuse me. They went for the pass, got pass interference, moved it into the 11-yard line, then the 11-yard completion to number 11, Noah George, in the corner of the end zone. His first catch of the game, Lee Moan, perfect play to be your Maley Chiropractic play of the game and the game winner here tonight.
Yeah, they're Maley Chiropractic proud to present the play of the game to Noah George of the Riverside Panthers. Maley Chiropractic and the Lawrence County SportsNet are proud to honor Noah for tonight's play of the game. He will be recognized by a custom t-shirt courtesy of the Red Zone in recognition of tonight's play of the game. Video of tonight's play of the game may also be featured on the Trib Live High School Sports Network standout platform on Twitter and Instagram. To view tonight Maley Chiropractic's play of the game and full list of this season's top plays, go online to lcsportsnet.com and click on play of the game. Congratulations to Noah George of the Riverside Panthers for tonight's Maley Chiropractic play of the game. Let Maley Chiropractic keep you in the game.
All right, we have to step aside one final time. We'll come back and we'll get you your final stats, numbers, scoring recap, and one more award to give out when we return here at lcsportsnet.com. Works in Progress Painting wishes a successful and satisfying season to all Lawrence County sports teams and athletes. Work hard and bring honor to your team and how you play. Joe Wright and his family have been providing painting, window cleaning, and other property services for homeowners and businesses in the Lawrence County area for over 10 years. Their goal on every project is to provide a meaningful service that honors their customer, God, and their family, and to have fun while doing it. Works in Progress is now booking interior painting and related projects for the winter season. Call Joe today, 724-714-4294, to discuss your next project.
In need of a lawyer? Contact Medore Bonner Law, a boutique firm offering tailored legal services and over 120 years legal experience. County residents with strong family ties to the community, Jason Medore and Michael Bonner, established Medore Bonner Law to provide clients with legal expertise and personal attention. Guided by their professional staff, you can feel confident your rights will be protected. Call attorneys Jason Medore or Michael Bonner, or visit MedoreBonnerLaw.com for more information.
Final time on the Tri-County Principals post-game show, a 32-28 Riverside victory over Mohawk. I'm James Dotson. Give a shout out to the rest of our crew, Lee Moan and Tim Continenza alongside. Running cameras tonight, Jay Moan, Rob Nattel, Aaron. I knew I was going to do that once tonight. Producers, Aaron Vigiano and Dom Summers. I made it till the post-game show as well, but
Tyler Aaron.
Tyler Aaron. It has been a fun night here, guys. We are a little tongue-tied. 5 lead changes in the second half. Mohawk led 15-0 on a Justin Boston touchdown run and reception in the first quarter. Robbie Janis with a 20-yard run in the second quarter made it 15-6 at the halftime break. First play of the second half. Talk about this one real quick here, Lee, where Zach Hare gets a quick slant, 87 yards to the house, cut the lead down to 2, and then a 3-and-out and another score. But that first play really set the tone for this whole second half.
Yeah, it sure did. I mean, you come out of the second half and you know, one play, 87-yard drive. I mean, it was just a perfect strike, and then Zach Hare did the rest. I mean, he just went right down the middle of the field. Great job by him. That set up the second half momentum.
That did set it all up. After the 3-and-out, Sam Hughes takes one himself from 11 yards out, but Mohawk then responds. Justin Boston, a 10-yard drive, a 2-yard run for his score. Robbie Janis with the long touchdown score to respond there. Now they're up 26-22 early in the fourth quarter. Another long drive back by Mohawk. Sam List comes in at the right time. Didn't call his name a whole lot tonight. Boston goes down with the cramp. He gets the 17-yard run. A bunch of third down conversions, and it looked like Mohawk had a chance. The long fourth down play then on Riverside's last drive, they get that conversion first, Tim, before we talk about the final touchdown. That long conversion really set the tone, kept it going, and then they survived the wild snap down the stretch too. Just that final drive, weathering the storm a couple times was Riverside.
You know, and that's what you have to do. You have to weather the storm, and it's the difficult thing to, when momentum just swishes like that on a given play. They had some high snaps throughout the game, and Hughes was able to handle them, except for that one, and all of a sudden you thought, oh, that's going to be the difference in tonight's game on that potential play. But no, you got to give the Panthers a lot of credit. They kept their cool. They were able to make plays. They took advantage of opportunities, and they put themselves in position to make that final play in the end zone.
For Mohawk, Justin Boston goes with 26 carries, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Also had 3 catches and a touchdown in the air. It was a game for the running backs, though. He was great on the ground for Mohawk, but on the other side, Robbie Janis, 27 carries, 263 yards, and a pair of touchdowns. He is our LCAP Player of the Game, Lawrence County Community Action Partnership. Proud to honor Robbie Janis of Riverside with tonight's LCAP Player of the Game award. He just received his customized T-shirt, courtesy of the Red Zone, in honor of being tonight's Player of the Game. Make sure you view the full list of players of the game at lcsportsnet.com. Congratulations, Robbie Janis. 263 yards on the ground, tonight's LCAP Player of the Game. LCAP changing lives. Final numbers again, and look at what's coming up for Mohawk. They'll now travel on the road to face New Brighton, as they're now 0-1 to start MAC Conference play. Riverside, well, they will host Freedom next week before traveling to Beaver Falls, so a couple of good Beaver County matchups there coming up for the Bulldogs, Lee. But just overall dissect what we saw here this evening.
Riverside, just great game for them. I mean, they didn't fold. I mean, 2 3-and-outs, down 15-0 on the road. New coach, 22 players. But, boy, they did a great job hanging in tonight and the great second half. And what plays at the end of the game by George and by Newman, coming up with those fourth down plays and the catch at the end. Just good job for them.
Great performance. We're glad to be able to bring it to you here tonight at lcsportsnet.com. Special thanks to everyone here at Mohawk helping us get set up, Athletic Director Ron Moncrief and everybody here. Just absolute blast. Don't go anywhere because we will have more action tomorrow, 7 o'clock, for a Lawrence County battle. Union traveling to Shenango. And then next week, golf on Monday, band festival on Wednesday, and a doubleheader football on Friday. Your place to catch it all is right here at lcsportsnet.com. But one final time here this evening, your final score, Riverside 32, Mohawk 28. And you saw it here at lcsportsnet.com. Have a great night, everyone. This is the Lawrence County SportsNet, powered by LCAP.